Matt, thank you for coming in. How are you doing?
Yeah, good to see you. You're good.
Do you want a beer?
Yeah, let's have a...
cold up.
All right. Actually, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I need to
You
have a
can-
go
you
on one of
can
these, I
use
think.
one of our...
These are nice. I like the detail on this.
Mate, they've done a good job. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they're made in Poland.
Ah, right. Got
Yeah,
you.
not in fucking Birmingham.
Did you make this? Did you make these yourself, did you?
No, just one of my family members.
Yeah,
one,
nice.
one of the clan. One of the many cousins I have.
Nice.
Right, let's get to... Want to get straight to the point, really.
Okay.
Let's start off with the MK2Spares.
Yeah.
I know you started from a shed in your dad's garden
Yeah.
on the Golf Lane Road,
That's
right?
it. This is it. Yeah.
Which is quite insane.
Yeah.
But tell me, where did it all start before that? Where going back to your early years, when did you cut the bag for modifying cars and cars in general?
I think in generally, growing up through sort of like the Max Power era was basically where the love and passion of cars come from.
Yeah.
To then move on to getting an apprenticeship at Volkswagen, and then my mentor, technician, teaching me my apprenticeship had a BBM Blue Mark II Golf. So that's when it all started.
Yeah,
and from seeing...
But did you like Volkswagens before you worked at the dealership, or
Yeah, I was sort of...
or was it everything before that?
My family have always had Volkswagens.
Okay.
My mum and dad have always had Mark IIIs, Mark IIs, and the family we all used to sort of go and see my nan who lived in Sawston, which there was a nice Volkswagen dealership there.
Yeah.
And when I used to go and see my granddad, he'd walk me down to the VW dealership, show me the Golfs, and I'd be like, at this point, sort of 8 years old, all the way through till when I was 15, 16, I'd still walk down there with my granddad, and it was Vinderson Sons, which then changed years later. But then my dad went to school with the Vindus brothers, which then was like, let me have a word with them, see if I can get you in there if cars is what you want to do. So then it carried on. That Volkswagen situation was always all my life. It's always been with me all my life. And then to go from finishing school to then going straight into a dealership, just sweeping floors, learning what was happening, to then become an apprentice and then follow that trade. But the Volkswagen side and the car side was around me all my life. We used to drive around all around Haverhill to Cambridgeshire, when we first passed, to when we was growing up watching the older generation in the village in Horseheath with their cars.
Yeah.
And it was just, cars was my thing. I used to go to school and my art folder was drawings of cars on the front, like Max Power drawings of the front of the magazine, stuff like that.
So was that in Horseheath?
That is, yeah, that's where I was
That's
born.
where you used to live, right?
Yeah.
Because that's literally around the corner from here, which is quite absurd.
Literally just over there.
I know. So there is a Golf Lane in Horseheath.
So the Golf Lane is in West Runton in Norfolk, where I moved to.
Oh, okay.
In my later
That's
years.
I'm sorry, yeah, because that's where the shed started.
Mark II Spares was started and formed. So
How many years ago was that?
that was 2016 when we started the idea and process of moving forwards with it.
So when did you start breaking the first Golf?
About 2017 was when I sort of made a commitment to it.
Yeah.
So 2016 was more about getting spares for like my Golf I had. And then I decided to buy another Golf. And then there was just an almighty change in my life. And I'd gone from working for VW to then moved up to Norfolk from here.
Yeah.
And then played a part in going to do engineering. Done that for 10 years. And that was a case of learning bigger engineering stuff where, cars were little nuts and bolts to massive big items on shipping industry stuff, which was, got to see the world.
Yeah, that's
Team
it.
of lads, it was a good laugh, a good crack. We had good times together. But then it got to a point where I was already thinking I wanted to do something on my own and do something, not work for somebody, let me work for myself and do something to enjoy.
Yeah.
Instead of getting up in the mornings and having somebody dictate to me where I was going, what I was doing, I had my weekends, I wanted to be in charge of that.
Yeah.
And when my friend passed away and they were talking to me the previous nights about building a business, you should come and see my boyfriend, he's into cars.
Yeah.
You should build a business, see your daughter grow up.
Yeah.
When that happened, and that situation was just like, bang, wow, one of my mates has just passed, and they said that the night before. And I'd already had a sort of enough of my business of being away working all the time, working for somebody, I thought, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And that mindset of where I had £30 in my pocket, had a little shed to go to, I knew I had a foundation I could start.
Yeah.
And I obviously knew about the Mark IIs because I'd just been brought up with it. And I just thought, let's just do this. And I just literally drove back from Newcastle, wrapped in my job, drove home, bought a Mark II, £30 was there in the pocket, and that was it. Let's go. And we just did it with a mortgage behind me all going on where, you know, you've got to make payments and stuff like that.
So you already, so you've already had like commitments. You obviously had a daughter.
Yeah, had my
you
daughter,
had a mortgage.
And I wanted to see her grow up more. I was very young when I had my first house, what I've got now. And it was a lot of pressure to start your own business.
Yeah.
But then I soon thought, you know, let's just do it. Like, I think the willpower from my friend passing to then, my mum wasn't very well at the time. And I knew what I was doing with these cars. I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
I just needed that effort and platform to start it, you know. And my dad was like, I can't give you a lot of money to start your own business, but what I can give you is a piece of garden around the back with a little tiny shed. It's not nothing good, but it's just...
How big was the shed?
6x4, little wooden shed.
No fucking way.
Like this, like,
that's smaller than a fucking sheet of plasterboard, isn't it? When you started off from that?
Yeah, just that shed, 2 Mark IIs in the drive, few parts from like my Mark II that was in that shed, on Golf Lane, literally just using the internet on my mobile phone, and like, let's make this happen. And there was queues of people up this Golf Lane where my mum and dad live.
Was that selling on eBay and stuff then?
That wasn't on eBay or nothing back then. That was literally just marketplace Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it just got bigger and bigger. And it was a case of where I knew that I needed to get out of that garden.
Yeah.
I knew that I needed my own premises, and I just kept saving up. I was going from like through the front of the house with my dad's wheelbarrow in the front of the house, up the main road. People were like, what is this guy doing? Like, he's got like side skirts and bumpers hanging out.
What is this cretin?
And it was just just like that. And there was, yeah, you know, it was hard. Like, there wasn't loads of money to get this platform going.
But it's the craft though, isn't it?
It was. I was used to that graph from the engineering side of them years. You know, we were doing 12 to 14 to darker shifts, you know, in cold Scotland, chain blocking. It was difficult, like, but that graft probably put me to where I wanted to stepstone to. That knew that if you drived and you had determination, you could make this work.
Oh yeah.
Backwards and forwards with parts in that postie. The little ladies in that post office were like, here he comes again. Do you know what I mean? They're like sat there.
There's this widow from Horseheath.
He's got like this small bumper and you're walking through it going, yeah, pass from Horse 48. They're like, it's just a big bumper wrapped up, cardboard bubble wrap. And they're like, yeah, I'm not too sure if that...
Yeah.
Don't think that's going to be okay. I think you're going to have to book that online. I'm sorry. And you're like, yeah, I thought so.
Walk back down the
Back up the road again. And then, yeah, people started to come and I just kept collecting the money. And then I bought a 16-valve big bumper off one of my friends I'm friends with till today. And unfortunately, that first sale of that car was to pay the unit rent at the stepping stone from the shed to the unit in Hull. And I ripped the car off on the way for somebody to view it. And that was the deposit money for the unit that I then signed for. And I was like, is this really happening right now?
No.
But it was a bit of a, you know, there's a lot of fields around Norfolk. There's all mud on the road. Me, love a 16 valve screaming. Like, I made a bit of a mistake.
Did you end up in the field?
Yeah, it slipped on the mud and it rolled over and over. But, you know, it taught me a lesson. So I was like, we'll get to that later on because there's more of this rolling over stuff that happens. Yeah, it seems to be. But every time it happens, something positive happens. So, you know, something's...
And you walk out of it alive.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in one piece.
Yeah. It was the big bumper, I'm sure. It just clipped the grass verge and that's what went over. But
sure it was.
When it was upside down, a guy come over to me and he's like...
Can't park there, man.
Yeah, he did actually say that, funny enough. But he had an Arctic lorry with the back bit, and he had a couple of strops on the back, and he pulled it out of the field, put it on the back, and took me to the new unit. And the lady was stood on the concrete, waiting to see her white Golf.
Oh no!
And it turned up.
Oh god!
As you can only explain to her as, you know, a pile of bent up metal, you know. And she was like, I did try and ring you a few times. Yeah, smash my phone. And as you can see from the state of me, I haven't really had a great morning. So there was blood everywhere. There was, you know, I walked.
But your car's there.
I was in a bit of a buckled state. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'd just been upside down a few times, but I still went there and obviously apologised. And she was just like, "Well, if you get another one in, give me a call." And she had a Mark III and drove off in that.
Oh my God!
But the silver lining to that was, obviously,
did you use that car for parts?
Stripped it. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing else you could do with it. The A pillar had gone, the C pillar had buckled in. There wasn't a way of saving it. You know, so the only way was to move forward and get your money back in.
Yeah.
So by the time you took like Magnex exhaust off, 16 valve engine, and you know there was still nice parts inside the car, it had nice interior and stuff like that. So
Covered in mud.
yeah, it was. Yeah. Quick little clean up and that was fine.
Quick detailer.
Yeah. Straight on marketplace, bang. The money of the car, I think the car was about 2.6 back then. And I think the parts that came in from that was more like just over $3,000.
Absolutely.
So it was
Your battery came up better.
Yeah,
better
I
off.
probably
Did you manage to get your money for a deposit though?
Yeah.
From that car?
Yeah, from that car, yeah. Yeah, so we managed to move forward at that point.
Is that the unit that you're in at the moment?
That was the unit in Holt. So that was the stepping stone that was the first proper unit.
Yeah.
Which was in Holt, on the Heath Farm. And people used to come up there and it was a great stepping stone unit. It just couldn't do what I wanted to do. I wanted to see more people. I wanted people to come up and see me. And the farmer where it was, he just didn't like people coming up and down. So much so he got annoyed with it and put speed bumps in because he knew we all had lowered cars, and that was trying to deter everyone from coming to see me. But obviously we were like, yeah, we've got air rides and we can get over that pal. Like, you ain't really helping some of us. And there was 2 tracks, so you could come up the tarmac or go down a rickety road.
So you just
we love our rickety roads in our Mark II, so that didn't really faze anyone really. So, but then it was a case of I had to do it. I had to get bigger. And when COVID struck, it was small business help. And that help, I turned that situation for everybody across the world into a positive. And I think we was one of the only companies back then to put a car show on back in COVID times in our area code. And that was the first meet that we did at the new site, which was in the site.
Was that the one that I came to?
I think yours was the second or third, I think, when you came to that, yeah.
That was this last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would have been... Yeah, that would have been.
Oh yeah, of course, because you've had my Mark II for about fucking 6 months.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You actually done me a big favour with that.
Yeah.
I managed to do the floors.
It's good.
Yeah.
It was. You know, people come from all around to see it, so you know.
Did they actually?
They did actually. Yeah.
Right.
People wanted to see it.
How
Like,
to not let your Mark II go.
Yeah. How not to be a Mark II owner?
one guy come up there who must have been. Well, he's in his 60s. He's got a nice big bumper Atlas Grey 16 valve. He lives locally. He come up and he's just looking around at the cars. And obviously yours was on the pallets at the corner where we had like the DJ booth and that bit what we'd made. And I was on the phone and I just thought, what's he doing? And he's just like, you know, this man's 60 odd and he's crouching down looking at the rims. And he's like this. Oh, I better go and see him. So I like put the phone down, go over to him. And I'm like, yeah, what do you think? It's different, I'll give you that.
I mean, thanks.
Okay, yeah. And he's like, how? Obviously this goes up. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, where's that engine come from? What car, what Golf, I guess it come from a Golf we go. And he's looking around it all. And the best thing he liked was the interior.
Oh yeah, because that's the only...
He was just like...
Yeah.
Is it okay if I sit in it? I'm like, well...
Good off.
I'd rather you didn't right now, if I'm honest. Like, because I'm doing some work inside there and that. Okay. Where can you get these seats from? I want Recaro seats and seats like that in my car.
It should have been like $5,000 they're yours.
And I'm like, we can get some Recaros for you. But he's got like a stock... He bought it brand new. It's completely OE. He hasn't touched this car apart from
3-door, 2-door,
3-door.
I mean, yeah,
it's nice, really nice. And this guy's like, I need Recaros. I've seen them. I want Recaros.
He'll be disappointed because they are a fucking Ford Focus.
And that's
or Fiesta or something, yeah.
He was going, well, can you get these? And that's like that conversation then occurred where you can get various Recaros from cheaper ones to the Mark II ones are more expensive, but you can buy the Ford ones and then have them retrimmed. They're a lot cheaper. And he's done it. He's actually got a genuine set of Recaros from a 90 spec.
You should have gave him fucking the electric ones.
He got this, not the one on the bolster. He's got the original ones in his.
I want the ones with the bolster.
Yeah, they're nice. They are nice.
But
you pay quite strong money for them.
They're like $2,500.
I think he was more 3 to 4 for what he had paid for his ones. Yeah, because he had the bolster refurbished as well and stuff like that.
I mean, he's 60. He's gonna pop soon. He doesn't need the interior.
He's got 3 of these.
What, 3 Mark IIs?
Yeah.
Well, lad.
All original.
He's got a small bumper K-Jet like mine.
Yeah.
He's got a Swartz blue, which is quite a rare. Because obviously you got
metallic black, right?
It's like a bluey. It's like a dark blue. It's more. There wasn't many of them made, and there isn't many of them around now. And when they do,
like Helios,
darker than that.
Darker than that.
Yeah, it almost looks black, but it's more dark blue. But there's literally not many of them, and he's got one of them. And I've seen one in person, and I always said to him, and the reason I've always said to him as well, he's got my son's name on the end of the number plate. It says OBE, and it's like on there, and it's like, if you want to sell that car, not only just for the colour, but I just want it for number plate as well.
Just buy his number. Actually, no.
Sell you the car. He's like, I will sell you that car. Or I will just give it to you one day. Who sees?
Is that what he said to you?
I got him really well.
Is he an old fucking hippie or something?
I think he's been in the VW scene a lot. And I think he's sort of grown up with it, and you can tell he's passionate about the cars.
Nice.
And he's had like them 3 from brand new. So like, he's into them.
Fucking hell.
So, and he's local, so yeah, he comes see me all the time. He just literally pop in, sit down on the sofa and have coffee and that, and just watch what's going on.
I'm like, get the fuck out, mate. Privacy.
But he's words of wisdom. He's got a lot of words of wisdom and can teach you a lot, so he's always good to listen.
I mean, older people usually have better.
What are you doing?
Better lesson.
Don't do that. Put your money into this. All right.
So, the unit that you're gonna, have you bought it?
Yeah.
Bought it outright?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a worry.
Yeah, but that's pretty insane to go from, was it 2016 you started, right?
Yeah.
And you became profitable pretty much from the get-go.
Yes. So Holt was profitable. Then when we went to Melton Constable, which is where we are now, I always wanted to have these shows and wanted to do like little meets there.
Little pop-up meets.
Yeah, and just
gatherings.
See people. These people that buy the parts off you, they become more friends.
Yeah.
Like,
well, after they fucking come and see you 600 times.
Yeah.
Because they've got a Mark II Golf and a piece of shit brakes all the time.
Only your one, Simon.
I don't know about that. Quite a lot of them are in my area code. They're always using them daily all the time, and they're not that bad. They're really not. To be fair, I love Mark II Golfs.
Yeah. You know I love Mark II Golfs. But I would definitely rather drive a fucking unicycle every day than do this.
Nah, but hang on a minute. That depends. That depends what coilovers or what you're running for suspension.
No, but still, mate, they're not like power steering. You go to Tesco's and it's like,
I don't know. BBM VR6 I have.
Yeah, but I've got 10-inch wheels on the front.
Yeah, exactly.
See, this is your problem here, Nissi. If you had 15-inch RAs or RSs or something with KWs on,
I can't run anything smaller than 17.
We need to switch up then, don't we? Maybe change the look again. Let's go back. Let's change it.
That's why I keep asking you. I want a tin top, clean shell.
Already on it.
I can literally just go, do the engine bay so it's still smooth, and then just literally park them next to each other and just go, boink. Still keep this shell, but just leave it outside so it gets more fucked. And then when Hector grows up, I'll be like, right, these are your 2 choices. You can either have a nice clean Mark II Golf, or I just build another Mark II Golf.
Can't we just take a reciprocator to it and cut it in half and put half over there and half over there?
Or make half of it the bar.
Yeah. Make the bar out of it. Or desk behind it. Like that's what I'm going to do in my new unit.
Yeah.
I'm going to have like
quarters
of a Mark II.
So I was thinking about making a front grille.
I've done that in a barber shop.
As a TV. Yeah, I've seen yeah. But I want it as a TV unit, so you can open the grill.
Yeah.
Like flip it up, so it'd be like on hinges, and then you'd have your. Well, I don't have consoles or anything, so that's where your fucking Fire Stick TV would go.
Yeah, I was actually seeing there's a hotel. I'm not sure where this hotel is, but there's a hotel with like a beetle front on the front of a king size bed.
Sick.
Do that with Mark II, couldn't you? Can you just imagine it coming back, going upstairs, and you know, wife's there and that, and you're like,
right,
okay,
Matt,
what's into this?
Do you know what it would be? I'm going to my mum's. When I come back when I come back I'm struggling to put one of these cars in my house.
I'll be like, bang, eBay, lovely. Let's have some money out of that.
No, you could make it if you'd cut it down lower, yeah. No, but it just wouldn't be fucking worth the hassle from her.
No.
Oh fuck me.
You'd end up getting rolled down the stairs, do you reckon?
Yeah. Should have a kind of Stella and put a vest on, fucking smash me up.
Lovely sofa and the dog.
Yeah.
In here.
No, she'd keep she wouldn't give me the dog.
No?
No.
Oh no.
She's fucking stingy.
So you just have this sofa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took her fucking Beats pill. She's been looking for it for like fucking 2 months.
It's like cable tie it to like the gutter or something.
Yeah.
I know a guy that did something similar to that. When we was apprentices at Volkswagen, obviously you get like, you know, garages, you get like, the lads do things as an apprentice always, you know, from putting somebody on a ramp with, you know, a broom.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
But this young lad, he was like, right, I'm getting these fuckers back now. Because he got greased in the nuts.
Oh.
Right? And he was like, right, lunchtime, I'm going to get everyone's keys out of their snap-on boxes. I'm going to get all their clocking in and clocking out cards. So when they go to try and leave at 5, these fuckers ain't getting out of here. They won't have their car keys and they won't be able to clock out this yard. And I'm thinking, all right, this guy's pretty serious, right? You know, I'm not going to... I'm fucking with this guy. His nuts, fucking... So what happened?
Are you cold?
No, I'm right.
You cold?
Yeah.
I just thought you were shivering a little bit. Oh.
He went up to the parts department and crawled along the girder and he duct taped everyone's clocking card and keys to the top girder of the building. So when at 5 o'clock, he was like this in the tea room, just waitingly, and everyone's at the machine, everyone's at the snap-on boxes, everyone's running around going, we're all in the same boat here, where's the fucking keys? And they're looking at this guy and I'm like, there's 3 apprentices, one's me, one's this guy, one's the other guy. The other guy's in a body shop, he's in a bumper box in the heater. Because that's his, like, introduction. Yeah.
He's in the what?
He's on bake at the moment in the spray booth in a Mark IV Golf 32 bumper. He's gone through, they've gone bang, they've knocked him down to the ground into a bumper box, taped him, shipped him straight into the baking oven. I'm like,
what the fuck?
This geese has got his nuts done. I'm like, what's going to happen to me? I'm like the third one here. But yeah, they didn't do anything ever again after that because they couldn't get out, they couldn't find their keys, and he just went off on his push bike. And I was the only one that knew, and I was like, well, I ain't saying shit. Till the next day.
So they had to walk home and...
I got away with it, because they were like, well, we've done this to number 2, what's the guy in the bumper box going to do to us? Because now number 1's already, like, done something serious. What's going to happen to him? Because he's obviously looking like Satsuma or something, all shriveled up now. He's hot in this bumper. Like, he's going to be savage when he come out of there. And I'm like, he's going to do something serious. Oh, I'm all right here. I got away with this.
Fucking hell. Oh.
Yeah, there's some good times over these years and all sorts of Volkswagen stuff. Like.
They're fucking mentalists.
Just put him in the bacon oven.
Oh, that's amazing.
Obviously, we're going back to like 2005 back then. So, like, maybe you could have got away with a little bit more. But, yeah, I can't see you getting away with that now.
Mate, health and safety is fucking ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Real fact, like everything has to be strict. Everything. Fucking, I have to do like, you know, forklift. You have to do a forklift check.
License and check, yeah.
Check every fucking day. Every day you have to do it. Bill paper, check the brakes, fucking harness. What's the fucking point? Does it go? Yep. Does it stop? Yeah. Sweet. It's fucking working. No indicator.
If they caught you
Seatbelt.
driving and doing stuff you shouldn't be, or like
No. When you get off the forklift, you have to have 3 points of contact at any time. It's like, mate, it's like walking on the curb. Like, no.
It's fine, man.
Yeah, you literally do. It's fucking stupid.
is that like sprayed up in like AF colours and stuff? And all
No,
stuff
they're
like that?
filthy. They're filthy. I do sometimes cleaning, but we just been so busy. That's
Flat out.
yeah,
Flat out.
flat out. It's good.
Yeah, it's good to be flat out. Like
Yeah. Well, you're fucking flat out.
I'm always flat out. I should really have a phone stuck to my head to broom up my arse.
Why don't you?
About 20
Why don't you
people.
employ someone for that?
This is where like things are changing now. So like the new unit process. I've already got a guy that worked for me on eBay on a
Yeah, he
Wednesday.
works Wednesdays.
So, you know, through the whole we're talking 7 years of just me and a mobile phone, you know, and people sometimes have been like, he hasn't got back to me in a couple of days. So we couldn't come there to see him because obviously the previous unit. So I always take negatives and turn them into positives, what people say.
Yeah.
So obviously move the unit so people could come and see me when they like, you know, in business ads and pick stuff up.
Yeah.
We then went on to eBay. So if you couldn't get through to me, there's a nice selection of stuff on there. So you can just buy it now and get it posted out. And then obviously tried to take Mark where he could then do some eBay and also wrap some stuff up, move stuff about, and generally take a bit of pressure off me so I can then contact people more
Yeah.
and get back to people more. Like you physically cannot run your own business and do everything. It's just not possible.
What about Kelly?
Kelly does her bit as well, like shows and stuff like that. She comes in, works behind the counter. She's always been that backbone drive to, you know, maybe sometimes if I look at something from a wrong angle, she'll look at it from another perspective and be like, well, hang on a minute, what about...
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then sometimes
that's what
I
a
need
woman's
that.
good for, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just dive in and be like, yeah, bang.
Yeah,
buy that. Like,
that's why we don't live as long.
yeah.
You just go head in first, like, oh, yeah.
Some-
And then you wake up, you're like, why the fuck did I do that? And you just hear her going, told you. And you just fucking, okay.
There's been a lot of that though, I think. Like, I've had a lot of support from a lot of close friends that I've met from the very beginning. There's always been like bonds made, friendship groups made where people will look at it from this angle, or maybe you should consider doing this. And like a couple of lads at body shops that I know that are a bit more older, a bit more wiser, who have started their businesses from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And like, well, I found this and maybe you should consider doing that. And little things like that I've always listened to. And, you know, I've had the customers themselves have become friends. They've always become, I've helped them, you know, and I've done a lot of things where, like down in London, we had a car cruise down there. I think it was Blue Water, and a load of the Mark IIs got hit with golf balls for some reason. We're going back to like 2016, 2017. So when I found that out, I was like, right, this feel I think it was like a little red, I want to say like a little Mark II caddy van. I remember getting it off one of my pals back then. It was my first van. It wasn't nothing special, just lowered on G60 wheels. And I remember putting all the glass in there and driving it down to London and giving everybody their glass as like a stepping stone to be like, that.
If you need anything else.
Need anything, let me know. But
like a drug dealer, isn't it?
on the flip side,
It's like, look, there's
help.
some good shit. You go and have a little whiff. Come back to me if you want more.
like the London cartel cruise that was done, like I had a white Mark II van and I just literally set up a little stall in an underground car park at Tesco's with like them little disposable ones and
Yeah.
stables and stuff, and I just was like, right, selection of parts, woof, like bees, like, oh yeah, who's MK2Spares then? Oh yeah, G60 Arches, oh yeah, coloured rear lights, nice, and that was it, bang. People just see your van, see the kit on it, see the parts that you had on offer, see that you could get hold of this stuff where,
Yeah.
you know, years and years ago, people would just bin this stuff, you know.
I know.
And we've all been there, like,
know.
you know. But when I was learning and growing up through the Mark IIs in Hayville, where we are now, like, there was familiar faces that have now gone back to their roots back then, and they were the ones in that generation that taught me what I now know today. So all of that sort of stuff of helping each other out, how the VW scene used to be and how it should be.
How it used to be back in the day.
Back in then. People used to lend me their Recaros if they had my RSs or something. Like, you'd break down and your power would turn up and he'd, it's all right, my mate would give me a lift. Here, you can have my...
Yeah, I don't...
like, get yourself back to horsey.
I think that community's now long gone. Maybe more in... maybe you get that more in... like the bug scene, you know, like the older VW stuff, the what air cooled stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
because now, mate, everyone's pretty much.
I don't know. You know, I'm quite on the fence on this because, like, to me, a lot of my generation have gone back into Mark IIs again, and that generation is that generation. So, like, you know, I have a couple of my friends.
There must be something seriously wrong with water in Haverhill.
What here?
as project cars though, I suppose, not fucking daily drivers.
Yeah, more projects like R30 turbos and stuff, and some OE cars. Like,
what cars around here?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I have seen a few. I told you before. I've seen a lot of like cool stuff around here.
I used to drive up and down this high street here in Haverhill when I was young. You know, when I was 18, 19, we used to drive up and down here. We used to go for drinks. Like,
what was your first car?
My first car was a 6N Polo that my mum had.
Nice.
It was a 16 valve, dragon green.
Yeah, the most popular colour in the world.
And then there was a stepping stone though. So this could get political.
Okay, go on.
But give it just a minute to sink in. So we went from the Polo, right? Which
to a Mazda fucking MR2.
No. So the Polo was taken off the road and stripped down, and that got Larry. That had, people remember it around here, that had Mark IV front end, R32 front bumper. That was a Mark IV Golf front end on a 6M Polo. It had 17-inch Wolf Race wheels on it.
Are we talking max power days?
We are talking max. Before Euro and everything came in, so we're talking like 2005, and that used to go up and down in Haverhill, around the car parks, everywhere. And that got featured in Fast Car. And that was just...
Hardcore techno.
That was it.
Hardcore techno clearance.
Yeah. But that was
for
the
some
same.
JBL speakers.
And then we moved on to something that's going to drop a bombshell now. So, like, when that was being built, a Vauxhall Nova come up.
No, nice.
Hang on a minute. This was a GTE, white GTE, 40,000 miles on, mint, in our village, where we all used to see it and be like, one day, I want to have that car, and it come up for sale. So I bought that. And I had that for a little while. And I was like, do you know what? Some of my friends in my village were into their Vauxhalls and Clio 16 valves and Williams and stuff like that. And then I come to Haverhill one day in the Polo. And I remember like it was yesterday. And I was parked up at Choices that was on the roundabout where Tesco's is now.
Yeah.
And Bomber, which is a lad that I know, he does alloy refurbishment, come past in a black big bumper with E36 M3 wheels on, Mark II. And I was like, well, I want one of them. And then I got to meet the people in Haverhill who had Mark IIs, and then met other people, and it just escalated. And then one of my friends, Oliver Westlake, that I know really well, who's got a nice silver Mark II he's building up at the minute, I sort of grew with that friendship group that were into Mark II. So then that's when it started, and that was the time where I then went to Volkswagen, and then my mentor had a BBM Blue Mark II. And it just sort of escalated and built from that. And then that was it. I went out and bought a small bumper, 16 valve, early Recaro seats, BBS RMs. And I took it, I think it was to one of the shows at Santa Pod. And it was the first time I'd been to a camping stay over weekend away.
Yeah.
With the lads, like we're talking like when you were 19. And that was it. 16 valve raw down the motorway. This is like the first time I got out of Haverhill here, coming along down, like, you know, heading towards Pod. Like, everyone's got their like 300 brake cars, and they're just like, whoop, in like Cozzies and stuff. And you're like, yeah, but I'm all right at 19 with like 16 valve engine. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
You know, and that was where the passion then grew again to another level, because that to me was the pinnacle stepping stone to Mark IIs. And I got a picture of that black Golf at the unit that I'm at now on the wall.
Have you still got the car?
The car went about 2-3 years later, and then it was replaced with an 8 valve. But there was always been a Mark II in my life from that point there. So
always.
From 2005, I've always had a Mark II Golf. There's always been one around me somewhere.
No wonder. MK2Spares.
Well, that is it, isn't it?
Kind of makes fucking sense.
It's just like, it's just something that's always been with me. Like, it's something I've grew up with and always been there. And it's, you know, I turned a bad situation into a positive situation, which then, you know, has given me the opportunity to do something I enjoy doing. You know, yeah, there is hard times like any other business. Yes, there is. Sometimes you feel like you're letting people down, you can't get back to them fast enough. But you're always trying to make the business better. You're always trying to expand. You're always trying to do more and more and more. You know, like now we do music videos, we do drama series, we do...
Do you do what?
Yeah. Drama series with the Mark IIs. We rent them out. They're in drama series. And there is actually a feature film with a Mark II in, with me driving, acting. You did hear that right, yeah. So like, your little shed business to now doing parts, projects.
To be in a fucking film star.
To being in music videos. Yeah, there's nice.
What's it in? Like EastEnders or something?
This feature film is based around like 9/11 with a plane on a runway down in Tilbury, and it's basically like the Iranian side of 9/11, what happened there. And they had Mark IIs back then in that situation. So I've got like an ambulance police car that we used, and we re-stickered it with different vinyl on to make it look like an Iranian Mark II. And then I had to have like a green army suit with like...
So you were Iranian for a day?
I was for a day, yeah. With a cameraman in the back telling me to do a sharp right turn in a left-hand drive car. You got 3 takes to do it. And try not to hit the ambulance up the arse, which was in Elton John's film because it's worth a lot of money. But just give it a go and go now. Okay, so left-hand drive car, really tight gap, no bigger than that garage door, to just take a hard right turn with him recording over your shoulder. Like,
how did you even get to that?
So like, it all started from this car. From the Tiny Temper music video.
So what, did Tiny come up to you say, oh, well, one blood?
No, it was like...
Need a Mark 1, innit?
Wow. Do you know what? I actually been quite a bit... Like, when I was drinking days, like, Tiny Temper was... I was quite happy at that point when I got told that I was doing this.
No, but I mean, how did that come around?
It was... There's a lad that I know, Scrappy, where we live. And basically, one of his contacts had done music videos, and he put me forward for it. And I got the phone call from Black Dog Films in London, and it was a bit of a surreal moment. You know, you just get the phone ringing, random number like any other time. MK2Spares, hello, okay, how can I help? Right, it's Black Dog Films. We'd like to do a music video with your car. Okay, yeah, tomorrow. Right, okay. Like, okay, you need to come to Printworks in London. It's for Tiny Temper. I'll see you, and I'll email it all over to you. And that was that.
How much did you get paid?
It wasn't a massive amount. It was like £350.
Yeah, like day's wage.
But the looking at it, it was more of, to me personally, it was something, you know, we're just a parts company. We just sell project cars.
You can, little stepping stone.
Yeah, stepping stone to keep growing. Yeah. It's another string, you know, it's something that's not something I ever thought I could do. So to me, it was like, wow. Like,
how come Tiny wanted a Mark II Golf?
Who knows?
Did you get to meet him? And
yeah. So we went down there. I had a guy help me at the time. We drove down. We cleaned the car. He bought the US spec rear lights on the back of this car because they would light up better on the shot.
Tiny.
Yeah. So we took this down to Printworks. And obviously, you know, there's all crew around it. But this is my first time to this sort of stuff. To me, I'm like, I don't know who's who, what's going on, what we doing, how this all rolls. I have no idea. So, like, the lady comes up to me, director. She's like, right, you need to take the car through to there. The lighting team will put, like, these strobes up and everything above your car. And then, you know, we'll all come through with the cameras and everything and just clean your car and just wait for us to tell you what's next sort of thing. And this was... around COVID times, this was, so face masked a lot. It was all sort of like, okay, this is weird times alone, let alone to do something like this. And then all of a sudden I'm walking through and I'm like, right, just going to go to the toilet. I walk off, try and find where the toilet is, you know, it's a long journey, turn up there. And this old man appears out of nowhere, like bearded up, looking like a rickety old man. And I'm like, he's just like, here. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I like your car. And I'm like, yeah, it's all right. And he's like, it's me.
I'll tell you, it was tiny.
It was tiny, man. He had a beard on that was put on, some glasses and like everything.
I'll say you wouldn't get hustled.
You wouldn't know. He was dressed up in the actual music video. So if you watch More Life on YouTube, you can see it. And he was like dressed up as an old man. So
driving a Mark II. I get you.
And I was just like, all right. And that was it. And he just started chatting to him. And he was telling me that back in the original times of doing music videos, in the early days of when he came out, they had a Mark IV Golf 32 that was in one of the music videos. They literally bought it brand new and set it on fire.
Oh, fuck.
And he was like, if only I'd known you back then, we could have took the engine out, you could have had the interior out of it, you could have had all that before we set it on fire.
So is he into VWs then?
He's a little bit, but he's got like a G-Wagon.
Yeah,
like
G-Wagon obviously I couldn't...
They're small, but it's an early one. It was a short wheelbase, nothing like you see.
Well,
today.
he hasn't put out any music recently, has he?
No.
That's probably because he can't afford a brand new one. They're like fucking 380 grand.
Yeah, they're nice. I wouldn't mind one
380 bags though.
Don't know. Life's for living and enjoying, you know.
I mean, that's a house. You're literally in it now.
Yeah. I think I had a white A5. That was my newer car that I had like a couple of years back. I'd still rather have a Mark II, an old classic car.
Well, even in the winter?
No, they just don't bother me. I just enjoy them for what they are.
I
daily
do,
it
but...
every day, every day, and I did. I dated my BBM Blue VR every day.
Yeah, but there is a few faults.
Yeah, but
no armrest.
You can get them.
Do you know what I can do?
No, I don't know. No one that has them. I don't know anyone that fit.
Well,
me.
do they? Oh yeah,
you can get armrests for Mark II, yeah.
What, an original VW one or an aftermarket?
It's aftermarket made by I think it was Votex did them.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've got one stored away for my Mark II.
And what about cup holders?
Yeah, people started doing them, 3D printing them.
No, I know fucking 3D printing, but back in the day.
Back in the day, you couldn't. They never did. The only ones you could get, I think, moved on to like the Mark III. When they did the armrest for them, they had one in the back of them, but not on the Mark II. In the Mark III, you could get.
So that's exactly it. I've got nowhere to put my coffee in the morning.
Yeah, but you just get one of the holders that you can just get now, can't you? Get them that hang off the side door pocket, or you can get the.
In the Mark II Golf, that's lowered and drives like a bag of shit.
Yeah, but you just.
My bollocks would be fucking cooked. It would be it'd be like a boiled fucking Frankfurter.
They're quite nice, you know. They're not bad.
Like a little hot dog.
I think we should put you to the task. I think we should get you a Mark II that we can let you use daily for a week or two and just see if you change your idea there. But have it on...
But, I'll be with you on that. Do you remember the Mark II Golf, the red one that James had? The little GTI, early one.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
That was pretty much exactly like this.
Yeah.
Little BBS RAs. It was slightly lowered. And that was it.
Yeah.
The engine ain't been touched. Yeah. None of the sun frames ever been off.
Yeah.
It's just an original, and that was amazing.
Yes, so basically saying if you don't fuck with it, then
you drive it. But I think it's like any car in it.
But if you just
moment you fuck with it,
replace stuff, so like rear axle, polybush it, front new bottom arms, either KW or APs or something, strong coilovers, but with durable coilovers, and have 15s, but have a nice tyre wall. So it takes up how these UK roads are.
Yeah.
You know, you can make them drive comfortably and be a good daily. There is no reason why you can't.
I mean, they just put a smile on your face as well.
People just look at them as well. They're just, they make a presence on
I drive mine without a bonnet.
People will look at that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And actually, I had so that's the first time I took Alex out and a kid out in the Mark II. We went up the road out towards Bury.
Yeah.
I only went like a mile up the road, turned around, and I was like, oh, well done, I'm just going to take a couple of pictures. So I'm doing something in the boat. I look up, and there's fucking 3 cars parked side, like on the side of the road. And the boys are like, can we come and have a look? We're only in Haverhill. Like, oh, can we look at your car? I'm like, cool. And Alex is in the back, just like, what's happening? No.
You're gonna get...
All right, give me this for a week and I'll give you some feedback.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. That's going aftermarket sunroof, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so this car was the one in that music video. This car was originally Jason Hudson's in the village in Holt, just up the road from where I am in Sheringham. And again, when I've moved somewhere, I've always met the community of Mark II owners. So like when I moved up to Norfolk, Jason and another couple of people were the first people I met, and we all sort of started a little group on Facebook called Daily Dubs back then.
Yeah.
So a little VW community on Facebook, and that sort of grew a little bit, and then it just fizzled out. And Jason's always had Mark IIs, and then when lockdown occurred again, dreaded lockdown, he needed to get rid of the car. So like it was already painted by a well-known painter in our area code, done a really good job of it, and then I just went to town on how I wanted it to be. And it's always been a car that's been in friendship groups within the Mark II scene in our area code. It's a known car. It's always had its aftermarket sunroof put in. It's always had the fishnet style Recaros, and then when I got hold of it, I decided to go into detail on bits, so like new badges, the RSs, new coilovers.
So are they brand new old stock or?
The badges, they were for Volkswagen Heritage, got me them.
Oh, so have they started redoing all of that stuff now?
Yeah. And then, again, another business that's always been good towards me. They've always been positive towards me. They've always helped me, and they've always...
Well, you and them designed a few parts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've done like the rear turrets or something, didn't you?
Yeah. We took a rear turret out of a Mark II by drilling it and doing it properly, so you could get a mould of it and then mass produce it again. A bit like the filler cap side, where the moulding section of that is, which always goes on the bracket for the fuel tank. Yeah. We took that off so then they could mass produce that as well. So there's always been little things that people are not quite aware of what I've done within the industry. That being one of them.
Well, basically, rose price of Mark II's up.
Yeah. But I personally feel they deserve to be more money.
No, do you know, I like the good old days where I've bought mine for 600 quid.
Yeah, but them days are gone, aren't they? We all look in the mirror, we've all got older. Everything else has gone up around us.
Do you know what? If I compare myself, right?
Come on, look, everything else is gone.
How much? Because how much did you sell yours for?
My 205. It wasn't GTI. It wasn't. I don't know how much I sold it for, but GTI now they're like between like 9 and 15 grand.
Yeah. Yeah. Novas.
Fuck. Yeah.
Renault Clios. All of that generation.
My dream, right? Vauxhall Astra GT.
Digital Dash.
Right? 20, between 16 to 25 grand. And we had one in Poland and it got stolen, but I'm surprised. But
this is the thing, everything else has gone up. So like,
how much do you pay for a normal Mark II?
If you want to get a nice one, if say, I don't know, let's just go throw it out, big bumper.
Big bumper, doesn't matter 8 valve or 16 valve, couldn't give a fuck. No rust. 3-door, tin roof. What are we talking? 10?
Sunroof model would have to be on a big bumper one. Newer 90 spec car.
They're old.
The old ones were the ones with the tin top small bumpers. And there was very minimum of that. So you would have to, at the current climate, if you was to get something that was structurally good, but the paint needed a bit of work with MOT, you'd be looking around 7K, 8K figure. That's what you'd be looking at. People want nowadays $3,000 for a project car. That's
$3,000.
Yeah, $3,000 for a project car. Something that's on the button, driving around. You can, we had a 1.8 turbo recently, silver 1.8T, up for sale. I think initially we picked up for just over $3,000, and then obviously the recovery to get up because it was a long way away, and we've done a few bits and pieces on it, and then it retailed out about 3,995 we put it up for. But they don't come around like that as much as what they used to. Like, to find a big bumper, you need to have 6-7 grand with you, because otherwise you are literally just getting, and the thing is as well is that you're getting like where people have done booked it in at paint shops. They've done this, they've done that. And there is still some of them out there which are, you know, polished up to look something. You know, they're hiding gremlins at that figure.
Hiding
Right,
gremlins.
do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but here's one for you. So, like, we picked up a VR6 car, got delivered to us. We picked it up and got it up to us for a customer of mine.
Yeah.
Which has then become a very good friend of mine. He bought a shell from somebody else that I know of. The shell that they started with wasn't a great shell to start with. It then got put to one of his friends to be painted. That paint job wasn't very good. They didn't change the bonnet, so it rusted up underneath the bonnet.
Yeah.
And they painted it when they should have got another bonnet. But the worst, they cut all the arches back to fit air ride. And on the back, they cut it that far back and they didn't join it by welding it back together, just restitch it back together so they could flare the arch, so to have that nice start to the way down.
I wonder who else done the job like that.
They cut it out and put expanding foam in the back.
What?
I thought we'd gone past this, the max power era, but 6 months ago, that car come to mine with expanding foam in the back of it. And this was done by a known body shop. The car had come from another Mark II so-called business. And it wasn't, to what I would say, sell somebody a project car, give them a hand with it, tell them who to do this, that and the other. And it come to me as, it's a show car being dropped off, you've got to fit roof gutters, because I found a bit of a knack to fit the roof gutters, and I want you to fit my interior and fit it up for me. It turned up, the roof gutters that were on it were bent like bananas. I couldn't straighten them, they had to come out and go in the bin. The rear arches weren't even re-welded together, that was just expanding foam and tiger seal put together. And the rear end of the seal was a big hole in each side. They hadn't even welded plates back in to sort it. They'd just left it. And this guy paid $8,000.
What?
For this work, yeah, $8,000 for this work, yeah. And he went back there after I rang him and said, look, you need to come to mine. We need to reassess this car because this is not right. And he comes up with his brother, looks at it, and he could see the pain in his eyes of how this was. He then went firing back down to London to this finest body shop, and they're just gone. Sharp gone.
Oh, wow.
So he was left with this $8,000 of monstrosity, VR6 that ran all right, drove all right.
I just looked the shit.
But the spray and the weld and everything else, like rust was bubbling everywhere.
And how much did you sell it for?
I didn't. So what I did was, I don't like people getting treated like shit. I can't stand that for me personally. When it's in this that I've got a lot of passion about, I don't like seeing people get treated like that. So what we did was we got out into ours, we jacked it up, looked around it properly, put it on a ramp, looked at it as well, checked in and out, lights on the lot, gone over this car. And I spoke to him and just said, like, what would be your pinnacle Mark II if you had one? Colour, engine, what would you have? Because this car, I think you've come to the end of the road with it. I think you need to sell it as a project car for a lot less than what it owes you, and cut your losses, and maybe start again with something that I find you, which I know is good. Something I've had my eyes over.
Yeah.
So he set me a budget, $6,000, told me to find him something. So I found him a big bumper, oak green, 20 valve turbo, ran, drove, had some nice bits on it.
What, a project or?
It was still a project. It had MOT and it ran, but it just needed a few more tweaks in the engine bay, good detail, bring the paint up a bit. Just little trim bits, broken plastics, glove box was snapped, just little bits and pieces that I had, So I'd done all them little bits. We got it all organised for him. Briefly told him about the car, but didn't tell him too much because I wanted to surprise him and turn that negative into a positive for him. And basically, I knew he had tears in his eyes when I saw him last. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, if you just done $8,000 on fucking bodywork and you find £6 expanded foam in the back.
I needed to do something to cheer him up and make him feel like this scene isn't like this. Like you've just been dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
And I wanted to change that for him. So since then, he came up, he picked the car up, had some work done at other places and whatever, and he's enjoying it and using it daily. And he's a butcher, he uses it every day in London, driving backwards and forwards and driving about, and he loves it.
In London?
Loves it. Absolutely. Sold his other car recently. We sold it for $3,500 for him. And I'd done all of this for nothing, right? Didn't earn loads of money out of it. Didn't do anything like that. This was like from the heart style, want to help this guy.
Yeah.
And this is how this, so like we say, where the VW scene has sort of gone on and off, where favours and helping each other out and borrowing parts, and where we said it's sort of gone dead a little bit in that way. The respect level that come back from that was tenfold.
Oh, yeah.
He gave me all my meat for my Christmas.
That's not fucking cheap these days.
No, it's not.
No.
So without even asking, just rang me up and said what I'd like. He gave me a set of split rims as well, which were worth probably 1,400 quid or something like that.
Fair play.
As a mark of respect. Not, do I owe you, do I owe you anything? No, don't
just
owe me nothing. Just whatever.
Karma.
Yeah.
It's karma.
And now he obviously rings me up all the time and buys parts off me all the time, and we stayed in contact, and
it's good.
We're now thinking about 4-wheel drive in that car, and we've been chatting with Virotechnic and deciding to do something, and I've just got some 4-wheel drive stuff in, so it might be
Can Cricket Customs do it for you?
They've done a little bit of work, nothing recently. They've done a few little bits and pieces, but nothing recently. We've decided to sort of, with the new unit, to just be us and who we are, and just do our thing.
Yeah.
And other people, businesses that come in, they do their bit to help the situation, but they do their own thing.
Yeah.
Everybody does their own thing. Little businesses, not just them, but other people have come in, they've gone, they've come back in, they've gone. But we are very much our own business.
That's the best way to be.
And the new unit is all about us doing a new step.
So tell me about the new unit then. Let's dwell on that for a bit.
So the new unit is...
Because I've seen it from outdoors. And it's fucking massive.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge.
It's one of them at the minute. Like, I'm like...
And he bought it for pennies.
I just look at...
He's bought it for literally fucking peanuts.
It's one of them again, right
place at the right time.
Yeah, right time, right place. And, like I say, if you graft and you put in and you meet people and you treat people with respect, things don't always come straight away from things when you treat people like that.
It's a longevity. Longevity. Yeah.
So I said what? So yeah, it was one of them. The neighbour came over from over the road. He told me that the units were going up for sale, and maybe I should consider it, because I said that I'm outgrowing my place. We always have chit chat with us all on that estate. Everyone's really helpful. Everyone helps each other. And I found out about it within an hour. I bought it because the unit I'm in now, obviously you're renting every month. The rent and the mortgageability between the two payments, it's not really that much different. And when you're trying to progress to the next level, space is key.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to have more shows and gatherings.
What are you going to do with the shop? How's the shop going to be set? Are you going to have all the parts on shelves? Or
So basically, there's going to be one massive wall of racking down one side of this unit. This unit is probably, on average, let's just give it some sort of size up. I would probably say you're looking at roughly, to give people an idea, if you said the size of an Asda and cut it in half, you'd probably be about right. It's fucking huge. Like, the car park, you could probably fit
50 cars?
Yeah, 50 cars, easy, 50 cars outside. And then you've got like a lean-to on the back with more concrete pad around the back. And inside the unit is split in two halves, so you could rent one side out, or you could put Rolling Road in one side, spray booth, resto shop, or projects, do whatever you want.
Is that what you're going to start leaning into doing?
I think we're just going to stay true to what we do now.
Just breaking.
More parts. The parts that we're basically getting now is more like we're not just buying a Golf and breaking it. A lot of people think that, but...
You buy job lots.
Yeah, job lots is how I've done it from the get-go. I've always bought people out and gone from like... Where people say go and buy people out, we're not talking 200 quid. we're talking 5 to 10 grand. You know, people that have already gone previously to me and they've built up something and then they've gone, actually, do you know what?
I can't be fucked.
I can't fucking do this no more. I've got kids and everything. I can't be asked. Like, I do my employed job. I ain't doing this. So then I go to their gaff and I'm like, wait, what do you want for it? They're like 5 bags. I'm like, okay, let's go. And I just go there with vans, put it in vans, bring it back, stick it on the shelf, bang, eBay, bang, or marketplace.
Do you number like each individual product, or
I just know where everything is.
how?
Just in here. Like, my place is like, everyone walks in and goes, how do you know where everything is?
Yeah, I've walked in there.
You know exactly.
Yeah, I walked in there, bro. I'm
It's
like, right.
But to me,
I've got ADHD. This is not working.
But that's what the new business side of that is like. The new unit is about making it more quicker to get parts out.
More efficient.
More efficient, yeah. A lot more efficient, making stuff like, yeah, we've got, say wiper arms are in one position, in one tub. You know, now we want to make sure that all the stuff for interior is at one section of this racking that we're building. Doors, go through all the doors, 3-door, 5-door, everything to be set.
Yeah.
So you can work a lot more faster. So when someone rings you up, you can say, right, you walk down the Great Wall and go, yeah, Calypso Green, 3-door, yeah, got that. You know, that's the process of what I want. And the rest.
Have you not got it on the Excel spreadsheet or anything?
No, nothing is done new school era. Everything is done old school. I literally work with a mobile phone. I don't have a laptop. I don't even print labels.
Do you just let post office sort everything out?
No, I'm one of them. I'm not very good at writing. I'm not very good at reading. So to make myself
How many
better,
parcels a day do you send?
on average, about 25.
Why don't you get yourself a fucking courier?
Because I like to go and meet people down a postie there and back every day. I like that break from work to give me a quick
That's
time
nice.
to click off and click back on.
Yeah.
You know? And to me, I can go to the post office on my way home. I can go to the post office on the way there.
Yeah.
So like, it gets my parts out quicker. Volumes of parts in the unit we're in now. We're on a big scale parts in a small scale ish premises.
Yeah.
So if I can get
It's
stuff
fucking
out,
packed.
it's in out. Everything needs to be out. If it's paid for, it's going out. I want people to get their bits as quick as
As
they
quick
can.
as possible, yeah.
I'm not Amazon, don't get me wrong. And sometimes people treat me like it.
Yeah.
But I do my best to try and get everything out as fast as I can. But there is just me and just a little bit of help. You know, I am quite good at what I'm doing, but I'm
So
not
do you strip all the
20
cars,
people.
everything?
There isn't really a stripping that much of these cars because it is job lots. So like the stuff that you get that you would strip bits off would only be like your rarer parts.
Yeah, yeah.
So like if you get a car and say like you do get a GTI or something that comes in with Zender parts or, you know, Votec stuff. Or
G60 arches.
Yeah, G60 arches. You might take them arches off and put original arches on. And then...
You send them off as projects.
Yeah, send them off as project cars, but they're always getting saved now. We've flipped it the other direction. So from the early days where you probably would, you know, break a couple that were bad, now there is nothing that's bad. Everything's savable. We need to keep the process going because that's why we lost a lot of Mark 1s. That's what I believe, you know. So what in my mind, I'm
I
more like,
also lost a lot of Mark 1s because they were shit.
well, yeah, that's probably your opinion on
What?
that. I think a lot of people would differ on that, to be fair.
Do you? Really? Ouch. Ouch.
Jeez.
Sorry.
No.
What?
Do you know what? No.
No,
I had a nice caddy though. I do like all my VWs though, not just
Yeah, no.
but, like, you know.
But looking wise, original, right? If you put a Mark 1 next to a Mark 2, Mark 2 just looks
It's just a better version, isn't it? Let's be
just
honest.
beefier, you know, like...
Mark 1s are always going to be that pinnacle though, but yeah. You see, I don't want to get like lynch mobbed up here by the Mark 1 guys now. Like let's just be fair here. I'm neutral ground here. I've got friends with Mark 1s, but
So do you just do Mark 2s?
yeah, like,
Nothing else?
We just focus on them, but you know, new era, new start, new unit, things might change, and we have started to. The job lots I have been buying recently, like this week. So this week we went out and bought a Corrado job lot. You know, we have stayed with the Mark II side, but now we're like we say, moving into new era, new change, new switch up. So the Corrado job lot I've just purchased this week is a Mulberry VR6 Corrado, which are getting harder to find.
Yeah.
Very desirable. A lot of interior components, a lot of wheels, a lot of trims, a lot of G60 parts, so like superchargers, G60 heads, all sorts of stuff. So that's a new section to what I'm usually doing, but it still fits in with the Mark II era because, a lot of these had G60s in, a lot of them got switched to VR6. Some of the parts are interchangeable between Mark II, 3,
and Corrado, yeah.
Corrado. A lot of the stuff is similar.
Yeah.
You can use a lot of stuff on these cars. So, when you'll go to getting more volume for the 2s as well. We started to do a couple of bits of Mark IIIs as well recently. I think I might just bypass that.
So what?
No.
Do you know what? I don't
mind Mark IIIs.
I don't mind now.
I had a couple of VR Mark IIIs, nice black one with monorail lights.
I like when Belgium and Dutch people do Mark IIIs with the super low on HR ultra lows and OZ super Turismos.
They're nice wheel, like them wheels.
Like just clean.
Yeah, I am a bit of a wheel whore, not gonna lie. I do like wheels. That is my little niche thing.
How many wheels have you got?
Jeez, don't know, 30 sets.
That's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
How many cars have you got?
Probably over 30. Should we run through a few things of what we've got about at the moment?
Let's run through the most interesting ones.
All right, so Polo G40.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bit rarity, bit different.
Yep.
Mark II Rally.
Mm-hmm.
I should have that finished and out this year, hopefully. It's been one of the pinnacle cars. It actually come from Haverhill, where we are. I used to walk past it when I did my paper round and stuff. Not going to lie. It was at an audio company. It used to be in Haverhill.
There is an audio place.
Yeah, it used to
where Nico's hand car washes.
This was more in town at up the top. What used to be Iceland down near the car park. It used to be on that walkway up towards the town centre.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That's where it used to be up there, and I think there's a nightclub down there now, or that area.
Is there a nightclub in Haverhill?
There is, yeah.
How much do I want to visit that place?
I haven't been back here on a night out in. Fuck knows.
I've lived
38
here
now. Like
I've lived here since May last year, and I've literally been out in that town centre once.
Back in the day, though, it was pretty good. Not gonna lie, but maybe I was just 19.
No, right now, what all you have is.
Yeah. I probably think Bunningford was good when we were 19.
Yeah.
The thing is, Bunningford now is actually all right because they've reopened like the wine bar, and it's actually quite a nice, trendy place. You just don't have.
There when you were 19, would you?
No.
Were you been a connoisseur of wine when you was 19? Would you? Or?
Yeah, cheap rosé.
Okay, fair play.
Was it Eco Falls, isn't it?
Eco Falls.
Echo Falls.
Oh, Eco Falls.
Eco Falls. Fucking me.
Oh my god, mate.
Eco Falls. Oh, you wait. When I go back and see Kelly, I'm telling her that one.
Eco Falls.
All right, I'm going to go and get you some Eco Fuels this weekend. Yeah. Who said that?
Eco Falls.
Don't know where I heard it.
Yeah. No, but it's just, don't know.
It's like it's all like that though. You know, when you was a lot younger and you used to go out drinking and stuff in all your villages and towns, wherever you were in the UK, it was a lot different back then to where it is now.
Yeah. Now all you have bookies. Bookies everywhere.
Yeah.
Bookies, and we've got Iceland.
Yeah.
We've got Aldi and Lidl, right? And the Poundland. That just shows you the amount of wealth that is in this area. There is the closest Waitrose is in Bury St Edmunds.
Yeah, Bury's a nice place.
Bury's a nice place. Yeah, so is Newmarket.
Yeah, Newmarket is more where I spent my time after. You know, when we was sort of 2020 era, we was sort of around Haverhill. But like we all used to go out to Newmarket.
Newmarket's the bollocks.
I used to work in a nightclub in Newmarket when I was working for Volkswagen, and after that I was doing the bars and De Niro's nightclub in Newmarket after working at VW and trying to get that money in, because I had a Seat Leon back then, 20 valve, and yeah, that was the only car that I've ever had on finance when I was younger. I've never had a car on finance till that, you know. After that,
it's not worth it.
No, I've never done it.
If you can't afford it, don't buy it.
No. So everything I've got now is bought and paid for everything. I don't have.
So have you ever taken a loan out or anything for the MK2Spares? Or
No, the loan. I had a COVID loan originally that you were given.
Yeah.
And I'd never borrowed money to get where I am today.
So it's basically it's all been.
It was
What did COVID make it busier for you, or
yeah, because everybody was
working in their garages?
Yeah. Do you know what? Some of the this is quite good actually. Some of the phone calls through COVID, right? Hello, mate. You all right? Yeah. Can you get me these bits? I'll send you a list on WhatsApp, mate. Yeah. Because the fucking wife is doing my head in, mate. What's the matter, pal? Oh, she got me fucking painting here, doing this, doing that.
Yes.
I'm fucking sick of this. Get me some parts. I need to get on with my golf, man. I need it. Get me these bits out. Can you get them out? Yeah. No problem. Fucking good. As soon as they arrive, I'm in that garage and I'm staying in that fucking garage, mate. And I'm like, okay, no problem.
Like
He's like, if you do not get me these parts, I swear to God, we are getting a divorce. Like, I cannot carry on painting this fucking house no more, Matt. Like, I need these bits. Can you please get them out now? Like, that was one of the phone calls where I was just like...
He needs help.
I think I actually, as well, like, you know when none of us could find toilet roll and that through COVID and bits and pieces like that?
Yeah.
I actually sent one of my customers a big roll of toilet roll because he could not physically get any. And we had them in Norfolk. It was like, right, he was like, Matt, I need you to do me a favour. I was like, what?
Can you get me some shit
got
roll?
like 4 rolls of toilet paper. We cannot find any. Like, have you got any in Norfolk? I was like, yeah, we've got loads at my little shop up the road on the estate. Wow, could you get us like 12 or something and put them in with my parcel? I'm like, are you fucking... I actually was like...
Can I order some BBS centre caps and a 12 pack of shit roll, please?
Look, that's gospel.
Shit roll spares.
That is gospel truth. Like, yeah. Gary did actually have these toilet rolls. He would tell you straight.
Shout out to Gary.
Shout out to Gary. He had the Synchro out of PVW, the grey Synchro that was R32. It was featured on Audi A8 Winters feature car.
Mate.
Quite a long time ago. But he had that and he bought it as it was. And he was changing it to right-hand drive. And then this, obviously COVID and all that was then. And then that's when he wanted dash bits and toilet rolls.
My wife's doing my head and she got me painting.
Yeah, so the one geezer's like, yeah, come on, look, get me in the garage. The next geezer's like, come on, look, I need to go to the toilet. So it's like, all right, whatever. Try and help you both out.
So go on, tell me about all the cars. Because we went to G40 Polo.
G40, the Rally. I've also got a Mark II van, 16 valve turbo. Engine went wrong. Had that done. Bit of a hoo-ha over that. That went wrong. Got through that. That was a pinnacle moment of shut MK2Spares down or move on to the next level because I'd put an engine in it with somebody that didn't go to plan and it went a bit wrong.
So why would you close the MK2Spares down?
Because the situation with that engine just buckled me as a person. I put trust in somebody and I felt they let me down, basically.
Yeah.
And the money I put into that build, it let me down. And I was promised a dream and it didn't escalate and it upset me. Emotionally upset me because I put trust in somebody. Like, I come from this community where all my friends, like Oliver and everybody else that brought me up through this, I trust them.
Yeah,
We were brought into this generation of Mark IIs where we all trust each other and helped each other.
Yeah.
And I thought that trust carried on generations later and it obviously didn't.
No.
And I was sold something that I believe wasn't correct, and other people, where the van is now, which is in Haverhill here, being redone by one of my closest friends for a long time, Jonathan Cox doing it. And I know it's being done right this time with a new engine. The engine was sourced from VW Heritage. It was a 2.1 ABF, which has been turboed, and it's all been Pro Alloy in Haverhill worked on various bits for it.
Yeah.
So it's all been like a close to home build this time, which,
should. Fingers crossed. Fucking
now.
touch
I've got
wood.
My main squad on it that I've known since I was 16. And I've got like a good amount of parts that have come for this now, years down the line, like parts from Fabulous and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Different mounts and all sorts of cool. Gone for a 6-speed box with a quaif in. Just uplifted the situation. Again, turning negative into positive and just having
and look how much
a new change.
And look, if you were going to close down MK2Spares,
yeah.
like...
It was that, I think that pinnacle of like again, all of us keep rebonding back to this COVID situation. But I swear to God, like, if they hadn't gave me a bit of money to help this business get through the dark time, we probably wouldn't be to this point we're at now. Because everyone started building the Golfs, it started to move forward, and without
people had time and they had fucking free money.
Yeah,
but not free money, but you getting your fucking wage to sit at home. I never got that. No, we fucking powered. We were so busy. COVID helped us.
Yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000%, because people were getting money. They had fuck all time. Like they had all the time in the world to do work.
Yeah, in their car, build
literally.
Their car.
I know, I was there shooting stuff. As well, so.
It's busy. Busy.
I think there's a lot of businesses folded in that time, and we lost a lot of people in that time, and it was a very crucial point for everybody across the world. But the positive side for some businesses was financially and brilliant news for a lot of people. I think it overrun for the businesses is in a such of like, I think the businesses that survived and got better was more than the businesses that got worse and downfalled, which is a brilliant thing. We'd had to take some sacrifices in people and everything that went wrong. But again, trying to look at a positive thing, we move forward from that. It's done. We move forward. And now things are different for us as a business. A lot better off, a lot better as a business than what we were. A lot of crucial points in this era for me, from people passing away and my little boy being born and things like that. Has been like like every business, there's always a story, but the stories have been a slow process of growing and growing and growing. And it's just been pinnacle moments I've chosen to use that strength to strive forward. So when negative things like the engine going wrong on the van, my son being born,
that's not a negative thing.
That is one of the biggest things for me. Like my little boy Obi, like he's banging to cars. Without him leaving that door in the morning and going to work is the strive and determination to keep building and keep moving forwards. And then the customers are another vital part in that. Without them, it wouldn't get to where we are. And that is them 2 points with my partner and my family and some very good mates that have built MK2Spares with me. I've had mates that have gone, I'll lend you $1,000 to get them parts. Yeah. And I'll help you. And that's like Stevie, who I'm building a van for at the moment. He just said, put a 20 valve in a van. And I've just been doing it in my spare time with other people. And I've gone to town on it. We've done all underneath powder coated stuff. We've gone well in for him. So he's like fully unaware. And then I showed him it this Saturday and he was like, I thought you were just going to pick a 20 valve. What the fuck's going on? You've like restoed the van, like underneath. Yeah. If it's all powder coated, mate, I wouldn't be here without you. So this is like a mark of respect back. Yeah, and I think again in the VW scene, that is what is missing, and I think that's what we need back again.
Oh, it is missing. Yeah, it is missing.
We need it. We need to go back and look where we are, and then come back.
Yeah, I think that we've lost that touch.
Yeah, that spark bit. Is gone. Even like
I don't know if it's through COVID though. I think it was sort of phasing out before COVID.
Yeah, I mean,
I think what people realise, like if you go to any show. 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a newer car on air ride and wheels, and that's it. Maybe change the seats or something.
Yeah.
But the actual building of like cars where people used to take 3 or 4 years to build cars, I don't think that's there as much as it used to.
I don't know. Like recently, quite a lot of Mark IIs have come out that I've seen across social media that have been 4-year builds. Like I know of quite a few motors that I've been helping with in the sidelines that are now being featured and now coming through and coming out to exposure. And they've been 4-year builds. And I think it is slowly coming back, I think, from what I see in the parts side and the sales side of stuff.
See, a
lot of project cars are going out the door.
Yeah.
And they are going to take 4 years to build, and people are buying them and people are doing them. So maybe it's starting to come back. I think it should anyway.
It should.
Yeah,
absolutely. The long nights with your pals, fucking.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Sitting around having a takeaway, grabbing a beer, and just like helping each other build.
Do a little bit on the Mark II. Don't do it. Do a little bit on the Mark III.
He's just bust his knuckle and drip claret all over my floor in my garage. But hey, he's all right.
Yeah,
he's good as gold. He's now done 4 cases of Stella and he's passed out on the floor. And he's still got the 13 mil in his hand and the flat blade screwdriver in the back pocket.
What you've been fucking looking for 20 hours.
Yeah, what he thought he put down on the side. So, yeah, they are, you know, best times.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, as well, a lot of it is, you know, people have got older, people have had children, people have grown up, and then they've gone to do other things like houses and trips away with the family, and then they haven't had the time for the cars. But, you know, a lot of people that I've been speaking to that are sort of like 30 to 40 have decided to have one again, and they've bought one again, and they've started to have that little time to themselves out of family life to build a car in a garage.
I think once your kids go to school and start getting their own mates, I think that's where...
You get them more time.
I think so. But I don't know, I'm not in that situation because fucking Hector's only like...
You're on the spot
Holy
now.
shit, no, he's 5 months today. What's the date today? 22nd? Is it 22nd?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 5 months today. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I meant to get him some bits.
This is how quickly time fly.
Mate, I remember holding him in the hospital like he was literally 2 hours ago. And he was like that.
Yeah. So, like, for me...
How was Obi?
Obi will be 2 in August. So, like, I help with a VW festival called White Noise in our area code. So it's been on every 2 years. So it's on again this year. So like Obi was, so like we set up the trade store on a Friday night.
I remember.
This is like
Kelly told me the story.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I'm like, he's going to come this weekend. I can see this happening to me. Like everything, always trying to strive forward. And I'm like, setting up a trade stand. We've just gone to KFC, got a load of KFC fin for everybody on site. We've got, you know, parts everywhere, loads of nice cars out. And we're all there together as a team. Everyone has helped me and all my customers from Norfolk. We're all there camping over.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to be steady because if something happens, I need to go. The hospital is literally like 20 minutes from White Noise. Right? Kelly rings me at like 1:30 in the morning and like, I'm going to be on my way to hospital with Mum. Obi's coming. I'm like, right. It's Saturday morning, you know, like we've set up White Noise here.
Can you not wait
that
till
moment
tomorrow?
of like, jump in the transporter and go. So what do? I jump in the transporter, I go. So I go to the security hut. Geezer's like, where do you think you're going? You can't be driving around. Mate, I'm part helping this festival. Got my wrist thing. Like, I'm part of White Noise. I need to leave. Who do you think you are? So like kicking off security guard. I'm like, look, mate, move your car. I need to go. He's like, where are you going? You don't need to go shopping at this time of hour. You don't need to like go and pick anybody up. No one's allowed to leave site. I'm like, mate, my missus is having our child in the hospital. Get out of the fucking way. Shit. And he's got his boxer shorts on in the cabin, like jumping in the Corsa to move it out of the way, which you barricade the door in. Obviously, just completely fucked up from like just waking himself up, thinking, what the fuck's going on? Puts it in gear, lets it off clutch, and bang, straight into the fucking gates. One of the in a Corsa, dents the front end of the fucking vehicle. Like, right. And I'm like, yeah.
I need to go.
Goodbye. No one gives a fuck about you. Like,
What
had to go. I had no, you know, I was like, you have to sort it out, mate. See you later. I've got to go. I can't be here. I've got to go. And I'm just gone. And then, like, Obi was born. I come back to the festival. I went back, tried to enjoy some of it, and just...
You couldn't?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And, you know, this was a very massive moment for me, you know, part helping in a festival, and I was judging Show and Shine and setting Show and Shine up on the Sunday. I come back at, like, stupid o'clock in the morning. Like, I've been up 3 days, like, on and off, managed to get a couple hours sleep, but it was, you know, high on adrenaline of, like, just had a little baby, like, we're at a VW show, we all look forward to it all the time, you know, I got a lot of my friends there, like...
So you set up on the Friday night, and then you got a phone call at 1:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. What time did Obi come?
It was... We went through rounds, and I think it ended up around, like, 5... Something like that.
That quick?
Round, yeah.
What, 5 in the morning?
5 in the afternoon. Round 5,
okay.
6 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was around
On Saturday?
Time. Yeah. And then we, you know...
And then you left and you went fucked off back to the festival?
And forwards, like, you know, trying to get stuff to bring back for Kelly, make sure she was all right. They were like, went back to the festival, backwards and forwards, got in to run Show and Shine, lining all the cars up, you know, awarding the cars and... all of that sort of thing is running that side whilst matchsticks, like sponsored by Monster, trying to keep awake and refreshed, and yeah, then we had to move all the cars back and, you know, get all the 20 odd Mark II Spares vehicles back to Mark II Spares, whilst then picking Obi and Kelly up from the hospital, running them back to Sheringham, and then going back to get more cars, and just, yeah, then it was family time off, 2 weeks, done the show, it's now time to spend with them and enjoy this moment sort of thing. So it was probably one of the busiest times of my whole fucking life, to be fair, like that weekend.
That was awesome.
And then,
sounds awesome anyway.
Yeah, the owner of White Noise, Neil, I speak to him all the time. And he again, another one that's been words of wisdom through Mark II Spares' growth. And yeah, there's a lot of people that have been there and steering it in the direction. But White Noise is on this year. And
you ain't got no kid coming. So.
Nah, no kid coming. Not
that we know of.
I'm aware of. Nothing else that can crop up.
Matt,
yeah.
can you get back home? For fuck's sake.
Yeah, I don't think there's any spanners that can be thrown in the works this year, but, you know, who fucking knows? Like, that was thrown in that one, so who sees what this year bring?
Where do you see the Mark II Spares going?
Do you know what? I never thought it would go further than my dad's garden. So to me, anything out of that garden is a bonus. Where we are now, being able to afford to buy a unit, that's pinnacle for me. Like, even like owning my Rally to me is a childhood dream car. And
when did you buy that?
That was bought this year.
This year,
yeah. And
so that was your like.
Yeah, I used to see it in Haverhill when I was a kid. So to me, that's big, and they're a lot of money.
Yeah,
like, they're big money to get a nice one.
Yeah,
to do it up, it's a lot of money. So
because you've got another one as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got Project One sit there that's for sale.
Yeah, you told me a fucking price. I thought I was going to buckle up and die.
So like,
it's a project, by the way.
My one is probably about 35 grand worth when it's finished. That's probably there or thereabouts what it's worth.
Do you know who's fucking responsible for that?
What's that?
For prices of rallies and.
Who do you think?
Sati.
I was going to say.
Of course, Sati.
It's going to be, yeah. It's going to be.
Fucking. Yeah. Have you ever met Sati? Right, Sati, right, mate, I've the loveliest guy in the world. We went on holiday together to India. Not together, but they found out I was in India and they were there at the same time I was there. But he's literally solely responsible for the prices of rallies and like edition ones and stuff like that. He's fucking like, he sells for like 70 bags. 70 grand. Well, he probably buys them for 5. You know, yeah.
I don't know, but like, again, it brings you back to that. Like, these cars are worth good money now. Like this flip back though. I know a guy that bought a Rally off me as a project, great one, and he had a Lancia Delta before that.
100% would rather have a Delta.
He sold that at the moment before they went up. Like, so he sold that for like 20, and then they went up. Like literally, he literally stood there, looked me square in the eye, and went. Literally the week after they went up, like tripled to like, you know, mega. And I'm like, yeah, I feel for you. Yeah. Because like that's hard. Like,
and then you go into a fucking 20 grand Golf.
You know, now he's gone, he's like Mark IIs. He had Mark IIs when he had that car, and he just said, you know, I'd like to have a Rally, call me up. And said, do you know of any available? I knew of one that was in Scotland available, and we worked it out and got it for him. And now it's at Reflex Auto Design.
Yeah.
The spray. So yeah, that there are around. You know, there is still a lot of, you know, like we said, the Corrado Mulberry that I've just picked up. There's quite a lot of VW early 1990, 93 stuff about still.
There's still a lot of cars about in general.
Yeah, they're just hit up.
Yeah.
You know, we get a lot of phone calls. I've got this Golf in my garage. You know, I've had it for 20 years. I want rid of it. You know, they send you pictures of it, this, that and the other. Get that quite a lot. A lot of yards as well, emptying out. So like in the back in days where we used to run around scrap yards and have what we wanted, like that don't happen no more. You know, you cannot go anywhere near them. So, you know, the scrappage scheme as well, done a lot of them in.
Yeah.
You know, didn't it? That was like a lot of them in.
Done a lot of general good stuff.
Yeah. We're only going to be the ones that can save it. No one else. This generation is going to be the one.
Yeah, well, the ones after us, they don't really give a fuck.
I don't know. My daughter's quite funny about like electric cars. Not gonna lie, like they all go at school when one come past. They're like test the drive past and showing them. They're like, No, they are. They're like, well, they're the ones that took it from us that we can't drive a petrol car when we get older. Like they are generally like not happy about it. A lot of them that I speak to, a lot of like 12-year-olds to 13-year-olds, like my daughter's friends and her generation are like, we are pissed because we aren't going to get that opportunity.
No.
And they are literally like looking at electric cars and they just hate them.
Well, that's why you need to save them.
Well, this is it.
But not so much save them, you have to keep them yourself.
Prolong the process is what I'm more doing.
Do you know what? I was thinking about with an idea of electric Chevy 57.
Whatever floats your boat.
You know? Mate, imagine just driving that in London. People be like, how the fuck have you got a fucking Chemi engine?
There is business in London doing classics with
yes,
that,
I've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen that Mark II that was featured.
They've done a lot of stuff.
Classic Mini as well, which is electric. Like,
yeah, they've done buses, minis.
You can buy the kit as well now, can't you?
Yeah, but they do them for Mark One. What are they called? Discoveries. You know the original Range Rovers. Range Rover. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know the square ones.
From the Essex boys.
That's exactly it. Yeah, they do. They start redoing them.
Yeah.
And you just get the Miltech exhaust with the speaker underneath.
Oh, nice. That's that ain't for me.
You can
I want to hear
change
VR6 on full chat, me. Like I'm not interested.
Right.
In electric.
Yeah, I tell you what, VR6 engine is. There ain't nothing better.
I had my VR BBM Blue big bumper last show season, and KW's on it, had RS's on it in 16s. It's probably one of the pinnacle motors of like daily driver. I enjoyed that every minute of that car.
They're not fast, but it's the noise.
I'm a VR6 whore generally. Like, I love VR6.
I had an American
R32 turbo, VR6, whatever. All of that. That's me. 20 valves and not really me.
See, I've been
in the rally at the moment, but
I've been persuaded by fucking Matt. It's like, yeah, stick a 20 valve turbo. They're easy. You've already got one. Let's just put it in. And now I'm looking at it, it's like VR6.
Yeah.
VR6 is just that.
Hey, it's each to their own. Everyone's personal preferences, but
and VR6 sounds better than an R32.
Yeah.
100%.
Supercharged VR. Turbo VR.
No, not turbo, because the turbo then takes the noise out of the engine.
You would just be an NA just to enjoy it.
Yeah, I had an NA American Spec Corrado.
Yeah.
Straight from the States. And then I had a Mark III VR6.
Nice.
And the noise was just, on both of those cars, just insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane.
I've actually started stockpiling VR6 engines.
How many have you got?
About 15.
Right. So, right,
just because I like VRs. So
how much stock have you got now? Like 100,000?
Keep going, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's basically.
Hold on. How many Mark IIs did he say he's got? 30. 30. Right. Let's just say $2,000 a piece. That's 60. That's 60 G's. What the fuck?
Put it this way. It's just go on a bare minimum, you know, just say like the rally, say 30 grand instead of 35. Let's just say 30. Let's just say the A-Reg, 15 grand, 45. Kelly's got a nice black one that's been built up now. That'd be the same as that, so another 15. You know, that's just free without the rest of them. But the part side, you know, if you look at it and went, right, I've probably got 25 grand's worth of split rims because RSs are making 3K. And I got two.
I remember I used to buy them for 300 quid from Germany.
Yeah,
300 fucking pounds with delivery.
Bit like Recaros, you know, electric Recaros. What they were back in like 2005. I think off Coxie, I paid 400 quid for a set. I think back then, you know, you can have $2,000 in front of that now. Like, but it's like everything, you know. You try and find parts and spend out the money for like Cozies or, you know, 205. It's all a similar ridiculous thing to
stupid.
Yeah. I think one of my friends has got a Cozy, and the ABS control unit module that he's after is like 600 quid or something to try and find one second hand, you know, for that. And that's like for a rally, it's like 150, 250, you know, that sort of area.
Fucking hell.
You know, I know some of the lads that are paying like 600 quid for some sun visors for an Escort Cosy.
That's mental.
You know, Mark II ones from us like 25 quid. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, I remember selling. We had where I used to work before Auto Finesse, we had a set of rear lights for a Mark 1 Capri.
Yeah.
And that we're talking for about 13, 14 years ago. And back then we sold them for 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
Fuck knows what they're worth now on the Mark 1 Capri.
A lot of parts, you know, they are, you know, don't get me wrong, like you can get a lot of trims Mark IIs, which are reasonable. You know, some of our stuff starts from £1. Like we are quite
So
fair.
do you grade all your parts?
So because I've got that much volume of stuff, I try and keep things set to a reasonable amount of money. So keeping it fair to keep people interested in the car, to keep it financially for them to build it respectably easy enough. So it's not like, you know, visors at 600 quid, they're 25, you know, side trims, 5s, 10s. You know, yeah, you have a premium on some parts, but they're harder to find for us. So
Do you ever get any new old stock?
sometimes when I buy job lots off people, yeah, you get a couple of boxes full of stuff, but we sort of go through it.
You
And
keep
then
it for
something else
yourself?
comes in, and before you know, like some of the stuff that's in there now is just, you know, phenomenal. Like 10 superchargers for D60s just sat there that I haven't even looked over. That when I bought that job lot from 2-3 weeks ago, it's still,
still
sat
haven't
there in
had
boxes.
time.
I haven't even looked at it yet. I just
So
moved
that's
on.
not even on eBay yet?
No, it's not even on there yet. Like on our eBay store, say 400 items, that's just a tiny little snippet of like, if I had like 20 members of staff doing eBay every day, I still can get it all on there. You know, you're talking half an Asda full of parts. You know, you put out a drawer, there's fucking loads of bits in a little box here, let alone the other 500 of them boxes. Like,
I bet you don't even know what you have.
Some of it I probably don't. I know most of what I got.
I bet you know all the rare shit and all the...
Yeah, I've got like my office. I've like got some stuff put away simply for that reason that it's worth a lot of money. Some of the rarity stuff, and you don't want it getting damaged downstairs or somebody drops it or something. Like, you know, rear light collection of different colours, or I've got like a Votex speaker that goes in the back of the Mark II at the back for the back people. You can just plug the earphones in. Proper retro bit of kit that you've probably never seen one. Like, I've
What?
never even seen another one. I've got one of them hid up. It's got like a speaker either side. So say you're like now sat in the back, you've got a speaker either side. It's got ports to put your old school, like Casio style, like little earphones in, like your big mounted ones, for the two people in the back to sit there, but then plugged into that, and that would go to up front to the tape player. Like I haven't seen another one of them, and I've got one of them stored away.
Do you always, before you sell rare stuff, do you always have to have 2 of everything?
I'd like 5-10 of everything.
Oh.
You know, I mean, this to me, like if I get something rare, sometimes I like to keep this collection. Like at the end of the day, like this is a business that grew and grew of an enthusiast business. This isn't like a money making exercise of, you know, millions of pounds of turnover business. This is an enthusiast company. Like I love Mark IIs as much as everybody else I talk to that I'm on the phone to. So if I get something that's decent, that's like rare, sometimes I want to keep it and put it to one side and maybe put it on one of mine, or, you know, generally just be a bit of a weirdo and look at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all got a little weirdo obsession from like Lego to fucking trains or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've all got our own thing, you know, and mine happens to just be Mark IIs and parts.
Well, funny enough, because last week I had Mihail from the MPD show, from Sticker Dumped, and he's just sold his entire Mark II collection stuff. And I've been to their warehouse in Ida in Holland. I'll fucking shit you not, it was the most rarest of everything. And he minimum times 2. He used to buy them, and he wouldn't touch it until he had another one.
Yeah, that's the way.
And he's, you know, like Okiari grills? They had like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. So it's
they had an Okiari Mark II Golf.
Different places in the world obviously get different Mark IIs with different amount of rare stuff. It's like UK, we're very restricted on what we had in our Mark II Golfs, whereas Europeans, obviously, as you know, would have more
everything
stuff. So like to us, we don't get that opportunity as much. You know, probably like electric mirrors, you know, different coloured rear lights, more stuff that was factory for UK spec cars. But like US spec cars, Westmoreland stuff, all of that, that's over there. European stuff like, you know, the body kits and some weird and wonderful
Kame
stuff.
and Zender kits.
We just never got that on our cars. So we could only get that if you got stuff imported in, or whether you went over there and got it back in there. Lots of people were going over in trucks and picking it up and bringing it into the UK. And a lot of people ship stuff from America.
When it used to be cheap.
Yeah, when stuff was a lot reasonable, yeah. I remember going to GTI Inters. You know, you'd pick up G60 Arches, set 4, 100 quid. Do you know what I mean? Now, I see people trying to charge £1,000.
For a brand new set, yeah. I've seen brand new sets sell for like 1,200 quid.
1,200 quid, yeah. 12 to 14 I've seen.
For some plastic.
Used ones, I've seen 700 quid to 800 quid. And we've had them up for 5, 6.
There's fucking 700 quid up in there.
Yeah.
They've been chopped though.
Yeah, well, they're still 500 quid, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah, people will tidy them up. People will get used parts and they will spray them up.
Plastic weld and whatnot.
Tidy them up and make them look something. You know, at the end of the day, like, you know, when I was building my Polo back in that era in 2005, fuck me, I was in the garage trying to bond all sorts of shit together to try and do it. Do you know what I mean?
We'll put Mark IV front end that's fucking 3 feet wider than fucking 6 and Polo.
Literally, though, how that process of that car was done back in that era, that was like cut off Mark IV wings, cut off Polo wings, try and figure out some sort of design. And like the slam panel on a Polo was like hardened ABS plastic. It was literally like hacksaw. Cut a bit, knock it through. Like trying to really manufacture your own slam panel, which shouldn't be there with like Phillips screw. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that was that era. Unfortunately, we've still seen people trying to do expanding foam on the arches, like we said, in this era. So it's like, okay.
We haven't progressed.
Yeah, some people obviously haven't progressed, have they? And they really shouldn't be doing anything with cars. But you know, it is what it is, isn't it? You know?
That's amazing. Yeah. Where do you see the scene going in the future?
I think now people are coming back with the old school way. I think, like I said, age group between 30 40 are starting to buy them out to and put it in a garage and tinker it out of family time. Take 4 years to do it, and they're doing it. Like
4 years, 4 times the amount of money.
Yeah, I think it's happening though. Like it is coming back. People are doing it. I've seen a lot of retro builds on the go, from anything from 205s, Novas, GT turbos, all of it. Everyone is
a lot of Novas being done.
They're trying to bring back the max power scene with Jamie Shaw, aren't they? You know,
Charisma, yeah.
Like big fan of that back in the day. Like that's probably a little bit of, you know, my car history. Do you know what I mean? And you know, good at the end of the day. If they are trying to bring it back and they are doing that, and Jamie's trying to bring another business out and start again and all of that.
Well, one of the guys that's going to be on the show, Sam Hard.
Yeah,
he's coming on the podcast soon.
Yeah.
We're going to try and get Helen in. I've been trying to get in contact with Jamie Shaw, but it's quite hard.
Definitely one of them sort of people I'd looked up to when I was younger and what they were doing as a
back
business.
In the day, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I learned a lot from watching like early stages of Pimp My Ride and stuff with my cars when I was younger. Like,
you've been pimped.
Oh, yeah. You know, what was it, like Tim Westwood, when it had done a version of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he's done a UK version, didn't he?
And that was like when eBay first come about and you could pick up like neons and bits and pieces for cars back then. Like,
you've done a new Pimp My Ride as well. It's sponsored by eBay, isn't it?
This is it, yeah.
Really?
See? Yeah.
Who's working on that?
I haven't actually... I've seen an advertisement for it, but I'm not too sure who's presenting it. But I know is it Wrench Studios?
I'm not sure.
I think it's there, isn't it?
I've seen a few
next to they're near Virotechnic, I think. I might be wrong.
I've got no fucking clue.
But yeah, it is.
I didn't even know it's a thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's back again. Yeah.
There's a lot of car programs on at the moment.
Yeah, you've got Car SOS as well.
I really enjoyed the one with Drew Pritchard and.
I've got a little sticker advertisement in that.
Where
So like Lee, I know Lee from Volks Magic quite well.
Yeah.
He's been, again, another good word of wisdom person. And his business is, you know, phenomenal, real good person in the VW scene. And I sent him some stickers and bits and pieces. He said, send me some of your stickers now. And I was like, okay, right. Sent some to him. And I was like, what do you want them for then, Lee? And he was like, this thing coming up with Drew and stuff that we're doing on telly, National Geographic.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm putting them on the ramp. So when he has his cup of tea, you can see MK2Spares on the ramp on the sticker.
No way.
And he shot it and sent it over to me on Facebook and said, "Hey, look, it's on the TV program for you. You know, help each other, and that's what
sick.
And that's where we are.
That's
you know?
awesome.
So there is a lot of that go on. Like,
That's good.
Yeah, that was, again, another little moment. All these little moments, like, you'll find that, business slows up, or, you get some negativity from somewhere for some reason, and you'll have something like that happen. That'll give you, again, the next working day of, like, striving forward, because that will boost you up a little bit in my world. So, like, that is another little thing there, which I was like, that's quite cool.
That's insane.
So, on top of that, and the music vids, the film, and all the little niggly bits that have just been randomly
thrown up,
stuck to me and hit at me. And
that's good, though.
Yeah. I had Andy come up from Volkswagen Heritage in the summer, took him out in the G40, pinnacle car of his, so he wanted to have a go in it. And yeah, we had some good chats about VW scene and stuff like that. And he done a podcast and about me and stuff as well. And again, a lot of the community have stuck with me, which is...
That's good.
It's good, yeah.
That's insane.
But yeah. I'm in a good position right now.
You're in a good
I'm
position.
happy. It's been worth the blood, sweat and tears, because believe me, there has been moments on that workshop floor where I have been with a bucket upside down, sat down thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Like, my wages is pathetic. Like, how am I supposed to live a life on this? Almost into a point of tears. I've been like, fuck this shit, I need to go back employed. And I stuck with it. There was crucial moments where, you'd walk in a workshop and be like, fuck's sake, like, is this the right thing to do? And there was a guy originally that sort of stepped in to come in as part of this with me at the very beginning. And financially, it wasn't working out for him, and it wasn't, feasible for us to do it together. So he went his separate way, and I decided to full pelt, put my foot down and fucking have it. And that is why we're here, because I just was
stuck with it.
Brought up with that engineering of, get this fucking done, ship needs to be out of dry dock, bang, 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 14-hour shifts, we're all working together as a team, let's get this fucker done and out dock. And I think that played a part in working like an absolute Trojan through this, and then just seeing the goal. Like, to me, I could see the goal, but I couldn't get there. I needed the money. I needed people to stick to me and stick with me, and they did. And there was that. There is always going to be that shit moment within a business where you either make or break, or say, fuck this, I'm going home. And that crucial day was when that van engine went wrong. And after that point, and that was like walking in a workshop at Holt, like I say, bucket on its ass, sat on it, no chair, no fucking gear around me of tools, thinking, this ain't fucking happening. Like, I've put all my savings into this van, it's gone wrong, this was going to be my show car, this was going to give me that
boost
exposure I needed to get this business fucking, let's have this. And it failed. And it all went wrong, and I lost 8k. And it was just like, I saved up hard for that. All my effort of making money and not taking anything out of this business and surviving my mortgage and everything was savings. And now it's gone. And I just had to, like, step that out of, walk out that door, go home, speak to my other half, speak to my friends.
And you find out a little bit of support.
Yeah, I just needed, like, I haven't got any brothers or sisters. So, like, my sister passed away when I was born as a twin. She passed. So, like, I've always had close network of friends. Like Stevie, my mate with a van, been close to me. And, like, obviously having my partner Kelly through the beginning of MK2Spares, all the way through its history of where it is now. Like, I needed to have somebody whispering something. Somebody saying, what you're doing is right. Keep at it. Keep going.
Yeah.
And then the Volkswagen Heritage attachment happened. So, like, a lot of people were asked to supply parts for Mark II by a secret shopper. And they rang me up asking for a piece of glass from a Type 19 early spec, that quarter window. Yeah. Didn't know who this guy was on the phone. Literally said to me, I need this piece of glass. I had a silver car there, which was mine, small bumper that I'd saved for. So I'm going to have to sell it to get to the next guy. I'm going to have to do so. It's going to have to go. So I just said to the guy on the phone, look, I'll take out my own car. I'll send it to you. I'll get another one at some point. That one moment put me into Volkswagen Heritage. That little conversation with that guy, wrapping it up, getting it sent, pulling that out of my own car to get him sorted was a stepping stone to make a bond with Heritage. So then that...
And that was paid back tenfold as well.
Come back tenfold, yeah. So like a week later, I was getting calls. The phone was buzzing. Like, they were putting people onto me. You want used parts of Mark II Golfs. We can't supply that. Speak to Matt at MK2Spares. He'd help you. give him a ring.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang. Money was coming in, parts were going out. We were moving forward again.
Buying
So, I
new
mean,
cars.
there's always been something that has just momentum of moving forward again. And that is, you know, you can't buy that. That only happens if you're the person you are. Because...
relationships.
Yeah, relationships.
And I've always said that to people. Relationships are worth more than any money in the bank you can have.
Yeah. Like, that's the little things. Like, the little things count. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know, let's just spin one back. So, like, a lady had her window smashed. She was an NHS worker in that COVID time. She used her Mark II Jetta daily, and her partner rang me up saying he needs this regulator. He could get one from Heritage, but they're on back order. They've put you in. Can you get a used one out to her? She's using it to go to hospital back and forward. Got one sent out. He asked me how much. Oh, no,
nothing,
mate. That's fine. I'll get it posted the next day to you. Little things like that. It's not done to lick. It's not done to.
It's just you're a good person.
It's just that is who we are. Who I am. Like, that is. You know, I wasn't dealt a 10 grand loan to fucking go and build MK2Spares. It was a 30 quid in my pocket and the shed and that wheelbarrow. Like, you know,
hold on. Did you buy the wheelbarrow?
No, I fucking lent that and all. Like, you know what I mean? I haven't been given nothing. I've earned it, and that's where we are today. Like, no one can turn around and go, when you get this new unit and you move into the next level, no one can be like me. Like,
it's
no,
you. Fuck
you. I work for this.
Yeah, it's you. It's your fucking baby.
You didn't see the blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. You're just reading what someone else said on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you get a lot of that criticism through Facebook of, you know, someone sent you a message on Facebook to your direct personal. You haven't responded in 10 minutes. It's fucking 10 o'clock at night. Like, I'm with my partner and my family.
People don't get that.
I get a message saying, "You ignorant C word" to you from somebody.
See, that's why I could never deal with fucking customer side of anything.
I've had that many times.
Never. Mate, I would literally call up the geezer and be like, you're taking a fucking piss. Fuck off. Do not fucking contact this company again.
I had 3 hours to
That's why I don't have my own company.
Do you know what? I took a lot of that sort of stuff to heart, even till this day. Last week I had it happen to me, and I spoke to Kelly about it, and she said, I don't know why you let it get to you. You know, if you wasn't doing a positive thing, you wouldn't be where you are and wouldn't have what you've got and what you've earned. You know, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. At the end of
the day, you can go and get his parts from somebody else.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not saying you have to come to me. You can go to other people. There is other people that do this stuff. Like, you know, all hail them on their pathway and what they're doing. You know, respect to them. But I'm just doing what I'm doing, and that's that. Like, and these messages, you know, I've seen a lot of downfall with people when you get in this stuff. You take it to heart. And that will, you know, sometimes messages can be read wrong. You can be seen to be an ignorant twat, if you like, but people don't know your story. They don't know that I'm dyslexic. They don't know I can't read and write.
I know you're dyslexic.
You know that.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, mate.
Fucking other people don't. And they're like, why is it twat? Like, do you know what I mean?
Matt will sometimes send me a message and I'll be there for like 5 minutes. Like, it's in the fucking Morse code. Like, I'll be like, Sean, have a look through this. What is he saying? Like, I don't know. I'll be like, Matt, what was that?
Again, though, I switched that up. So, like, I moved...
But, hey, it doesn't matter.
I moved people to WhatsApp so I can send voice notes. And I send people voice notes on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I try and take that negativity and try and spin it into something better. But do you know what I mean? You cannot be...
You've done fucking... I personally think you've done amazing. Because I remember when you first started and you literally just had your banner on the floor and just some parts laying around.
Yeah, so we went to London Cartel and I had a white Mark 6 Golf, I think, and we filled it full of parts. Went to London Cartel, Ace Caf, and met Sanj and that for the first time. And again, another supporter, brilliant people, London Cartel, Sanj and that, and Dan at Brixton Streetwear. Again, like, words of wisdom people, pull you in, help you out.
Yeah.
This guy's got a dream. This fucking help the geezer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went down to Ace Caf, laid out literally whatever I could fit in a Mark 6 Golf on the floor with a banner. And that was it. Like, that was another trial and error go to see, you know, we sold enough to pay for the diesel to go down. And that was that.
Yeah.
But we'd gone to an official show meet at somewhere popular with a lot of people that I'd never met before. I even seen James down there. I think he had the BMW at the time.
Yeah.
With Finesse there sponsoring it. And yeah, it was just, you needed moments like that. Without moments like that, you wouldn't be, again, this is all part of the story and all part of the process to where you are. And it's that effort, you know, not a lot of people would go, right, I've got 30 quid to start a business with a shed. You've got to be fucking nuts to give it a go, ain't you, really?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
No, but mate, you took the fucking risk.
Fuck it, give it a go.
So how long was it from you started MK2Spares to quitting your job?
So I think it was like 2016, the start of the year. I was already sort of toying with the idea of finishing my current job I had. I was working all around the world and working in dry docks, doing engineering with a company in Yarmouth. And it was just, I'd done a long stint at it. You know, I'd missed the times of my daughter growing up, and you almost become a bit of a loner. You had your friends at work, but they were your friends.
Because no one bothered calling you anymore because you're never available.
Yeah.
I know this.
Yeah,
I know this from doing shows and stuff.
Yeah, you're just around the world, 12, 14 hours, stupid hours you're doing. And, you know, I had my Mark II at home, and when I used to come back for a couple of weeks and work in Yarmouth, I took my Mark II out and I'd do a bit of work on it. And, you know, that was a moment where I think the biggest thing there was my mum wasn't very well come like the middle of that year. And then, unfortunately, that's when I lost one of my friends.
Yeah.
And when that situation occurred, that gave me basically the fucking rocket up my arse to go, fuck you, I ain't working for you no
this
more.
shit.
Fuck this, I'm doing my own business. I don't give a fuck. I've got 30 quid in my pocket. My dad will help me with whatever he can. You know, I've got my friends, I've got my family. Let's do this. It was almost like worrying, exciting, emotional, and all weird, wonderful moment. You know, going to the funeral of my friend with all the car community around her in Norwich when we went to that funeral, and everybody was into cars that was at that funeral. There were VW people to Jap car people.
Yeah.
Everybody was just into cars. And like talking about doing that business, and I'd already like decided I was doing it, and I'd already doing a little bit to get the parts for my own Golf, and then just went, you know, let's do this. But without that pinnacle moments there, it wouldn't be anything. Because that message from her, you know, what it was is I used to rent my house out to women because they'd look after the property. The lads have parties every fucking night, every fucking state. Do you know what I mean? But if you rent it out to women, they'd look after it and you know, have their friends around. And that's what I did. I rented the rooms out while I was working away. And then you obviously stayed in contact with the girls that rented the rooms off you. And, you know, I had that friendship with all of them. I met their partners. I met one of the partners who got me the job at the engineering company from that. And then I met the friend of the boyfriend's friends who were into cars and all of them. And then when that one particularly passed, she was very young, she was into cars, and her boyfriend I'm still best friends with till this day.
Nice.
And he's actually helped with the business with 3D printing bits and stuck there as, you know, when you're having a real shit time like I did, he was one of the first to
he's on the other phone
give you
call.
a fucking lift.
The other end of the phone call.
Yeah, he's there. You know, I could ring him and have a chat with him at any point. If there's a problem, he'd be one of the first. And like Stevie with the van, again, another one. There's like 5 people. You got your 5 people you need.
Yeah.
Your 5 real
Who said
good
that?
mates.
You don't need a whole team
No.
of people. You just need 3 motherfuckers or something, innit?
Yeah.
That Italian bloke, isn't it? It's like, all you need is 3 badass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Without mine, I wouldn't have been here, what I'm doing. You know, Stevie helped me out. You know, words from, like I said, a lot of words from the community. But it's, to this point now I can see we're going somewhere. It's taken 7 to 8 years of blood, sweat, tears, upset, emotional shit. But I can see it's actually taken a turn. You know, when we did the car meets at this site we're at now, and they got in PVW and got the music shoots and the drama and the film and all of that recently, you can see what you're doing is working. And you can see by the volume of growth of the business's financial state, where it's growing, and you can buy more products and buy more parts and more cars, you can see that the money's coming in to make the money to build it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas before you would be like, right, I've sold that car, made a profit, I need to buy, you know, a ramp or a toolbox, or
it's like
you're
always scratching for more.
Yeah, I was chasing my fucking tail, like, you know.
You buy this will
robbing
go
Peter
wrong.
to pay Paul and as such, like borrowing off my mate £1,000 to flip that into a Golf, to flip that into £2,000 to pay him back, and
then still
but that money wouldn't go to me. Like it wasn't never coming to my family table. It was going into MK2Spares.
Yeah.
Like it till this day, the wages from MK2Spares has never been. It's never been brilliant. I can't, I haven't took money out of that company every month. It's built it. Like I've survived off savings from that engineering side that was to keep as a stepping stone for my mortgage. But like I've never drawn money out of MK2Spares as a wage.
You always put it back in.
Minimum wage and less some is what I've had from that company. And I've put it all back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the enjoyment of having a Mark II Golf. Yeah, rally, whatever, as things I've worked for. But if I wasn't into Mark II Golfs, I haven't got like, Audi R outside or a fucking X5 brand new or something. Like, I've got Mark II Golfs and a transporter that's for work.
Yeah.
With MK2Spares on, and a transporter camper to go away with the family.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't got an extravagant lifestyle from this.
No.
I've built
So
it.
someone
That's
who's
why
got
I've got my
fucking
unit.
30 MK2 Golfs.
Yeah. It's for the business.
Yeah, it is.
It's for the business. Like the business without that stock,
you wouldn't be a business.
You've got to look at it in another way. So like finding that deposit for that unit, we're talking a lot of capital to put down.
Yeah.
I was worried that if I took and sold a lot of stuff to make the deposit, I'd have not as much stock to see the next level.
Yeah.
So like obviously you'll pay a big chunk, say 80 grand deposit on a 300k unit or something, then you're gonna you've took your stock out to pay that deposit. So like if you haven't got a load of stock left to sell, how are you going to get through to pay your payments? So it's like you need to keep a backup. So like keeping what we've got now, we've basically used the money for the deposit because it's taken a while to get passed through like councils and stuff for the unit. We've used that money to buy more stock, flip it, sell it, put the money back in the kitty. And now we've got a lot of stock.
And you've still got
and
money for
the deposit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just business. That's the plan inside of it.
So when do you think you're going to be in the new unit?
We've just had everything passed by the Norfolk Council. It's all on Norfolk Online. You can actually go on it and see it. And that says like everything's planning's all ticked off boxes. It went to the Parish Council last Thursday. They're all happy with it. Environmental health and everybody like for rules and stuff like that is fine. Fencing's already started going up this week. You're talking a matter of weeks to a month, I think.
So when are we going to have the first meet?
I want to push for one before the end of the year. Definitely.
I should fucking imagine. So we're only in March.
But I've got a lot to get that in that business, though. There's a lot to do.
You've got a lot to fucking do.
We're saying about this unit being big.
It's big.
One man and a bit of help from friends and a guy on a Wednesday, it's going to take a lot of time to make that look MK2Spares. That needs roof looking at, floors looking at, spraying outside, electrics, an office. There's a lot to do. And you're now coming into show season. I'm going to be at trade stands like MK2 owners meet. I'll be there.
I think it's time where you need to go on CV Library and post up a job.
Yeah, that's where we're getting at. Like, I want to take Mark on, who worked for me on Wednesday, full time, because again, without certain people, you wouldn't be where you are. He's made that stepping stone of eBay. That's his little baby child, if you like, of the business, and he works with that. He's there now.
Well, I said to you about eBay years ago.
Yeah, it's that.
And I think you need to do your own online shop.
Yeah, we're on that process.
You don't have to pay any fucking listing fees.
No.
They don't charge you fucking £6 from every £5 you make.
I've got
and then PayPal gets money from you because how
this is
dare you
PayPal.
use fucking PayPal for eBay purposes? So they fucking charge you as well.
I've got another plan that's on the go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we've got something already in motion. But I can't tell you that bit because if other businesses know
that's fine.
We'll
talk about it when you...
we'll talk about that. We've got some ideas to make... Every time I'm always trying to make things better for the customer.
Yeah.
Every single time. So that idea is already in motion with the new unit. The new unit will be the stepping stone to hopefully build a hub for MK2 owners. Like if the MK2 owners club meet at the racetrack for any reason ever went wrong and they couldn't get that site, then we've got MK2Spares as a home. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't worked for these amount of years for this tiers and operation of having a restricted life to build it for myself. It's built for the customers and the owners of Golfs.
For the community.
I want it to be a home. Like, you know, classic car industry needs people like me. It needs people to keep it alive. And on that estate, you've already got Dub Motion campers, which do transporters.
Yeah.
You've already got a VW man in the corner who buys and sells all sorts of VWs. You've got a gin company, an alcohol company coming in, London Brewery on that estate.
You got London Brewery on that estate?
Yeah, so they've got their license. So when we have shows...
Oh, yeah, of course it is. It's on the left-hand side.
It's on the left at the back.
That's it, yeah.
There's a car company down there that do all cleaning products as well. They're on the estate. So it's a very much sort of car area of the estate.
That's awesome.
It just needs like a fucking monster MK2Spares in the middle.
With meats going on,
and
music
meats going on, and we've already talked with
topless women washing cars,
Max Power era.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm missing is the titties from magazines.
Yeah.
And
did you used to cut them out and put them on your art folder when you was a kid?
No, they were already fucking stuck together.
Yeah.
You just throw the magazine on the wall with fucking stick.
You know them fiberglass arches I got on my Martin? Yeah, I didn't use Tiger Seal, bro. Oh, fuck's sake.
No. Matt, we've got a tradition that anyone that comes on the podcast has to do a couple of laps. What's this fucking game we have? Gran Turismo. Mate, I keep forgetting every single time what game it is. On Gran Turismo.
What is this old school? Guy?
Old school.
So are we talking the one that
1996
had that Suzuki wide-bodied fucker? The first one? Or is it the one that...
Mate, I don't know because I've only got the cars that you get given at the get-go.
I used to love this sitting in my bedroom.
We haven't done the time yet. I think this is something we need to do. Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Matt, anyway.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you for inviting me. I like what you've done in here.
Yeah, do you know what? I've still got your banner.
Yeah.
I've got nowhere to put it at the moment. I need something smaller.
We'll get one done for you, won't we?
But I'll get, because I'm getting these made anyway, so.
I need one of them. I like that.
You do?
Yeah, I like the design of that. I like that a lot.
Do you know how much I paid for the design?
Go on.
€7.
Nice.
€7. Some geezer on Fiverr. I just told him, so I want a wheel, microphone, this and that. And he literally, like, within 20 minutes, he came back with this. I'm like, sweet. Sorted.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like what you did as well with the green and more green.
It's works.
And you know, plant pot.
Yeah.
All that sort of like 80s, 90s memorabilia and bits and bobs. And you got your models and stuff and all of that.
It's put him in contact with the guys we had on the other one, the Drives Collection, because he sells a load of old signs and stuff.
Yeah.
We definitely something we want to put in. So like when I develop that side, I want to have a like 4 cars in there, raised up, bit like car audio.
Yeah.
Raised up off the ground.
On some crates or something.
Yeah, and I want to sort of like carpet the floors and lower ceiling, drop down, because the ceiling unit's quite high.
I'd leave it high.
Yeah.
May just have shit fucking hanging from the ceiling.
I want to make a separate place for people to come and have a coffee and have a chat and
well, I know for a fact that fucking place
bit.
is big enough for that.
Yeah, we've got a garden, so yeah.
You've got a garden as well? You've got a garden at the back, innit?
On the side.
Fuck's sake.
Garden on the side.
I've got a present for
I
you.
ain't got a lawnmower yet, though, so...
I've got a lawnmower.
Yeah, well, you could sit on one, would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
VR
I've got a present.
Should we VR it? VR6 lawnmower.
There you go. That's a little... We haven't done that for anyone else, because...
Oh, yeah?
My dad's just fucking got it made in Poland, but it's just a little thank you for coming on, mate.
Nice. Thank you
A few
very much.
bits.
Is this the pen that I'm going to take when I sign my paperwork deed for?
I hope you do. I hope you
so
will.
I take this pen.
You won't work.
I get there with blizzards and like.
You got to supply your own ink.
You know how I'm going to write people's addresses out now, don't you? That's nice. Thank you.
No,
I appreciate that.
Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Ready?
I don't know about this. So we go on, yeah?
Yeah, try again.
Big moment. Going back to when I was 19 again in my bedroom. Let's do this. Fucking here we go then. Right, changing the fucking view. What the fuck? fucking wiggle on.
They are quite hard to drive, aren't they?
It's just getting used to the controller again, isn't it? I haven't played on this game for fucking 20 years. So like, just into them 2 practice runs to then get used to the controller again on like the movability on as you're going left and right. It's just fucking hard to get.
Well, it was the most realistic game back in the day.
Yeah, but this is like, again, one of them fucking pinnacle games when you was growing up in it. It's like, Gran Turismo was the one, let's be honest. It was like, the graphics aren't bad. Like,
you just got overtaken by your shadow.
Oh no, I see that. I'm just a bit.
The graphics ain't bad.
Nah.
For 1996.
Yeah, it's good. You're making me want to go out and buy one when I leave here now, you know that.
Just do it, mate. It's 30 quid. I'm pretty sure you can
Doing
sell a wing or something for 30 quid.
Wings are more than 30 quid now.
Really?
Yeah. Decent, rust free. You're talking more like 60, 70 quid. Oh, come on. You sit here and get fucking arsey with it. I remember getting royal pissed off with this years ago when I first started playing it. Come on. You used to get like proper on the buttons, like in fucking force, because you're trying to get around the bend.
Yeah.
Like proper digging into the controller and shit.
As if that makes any difference.
Yeah, it never made no difference, but you were proper like angry with it, like, come on. And you fucking turn your head and all sorts of shit. I'm already seeing myself fucking like trying to fucking turn and weave and that.
Go on.
Come on.
Yes, boy. How the fuck did we work this out last time?
Didn't you add them together and then divide them by 2?
Well, no, because that gives me 75.
I remember them.
So
I can't remember.
lap 159. Lap
Oh, hold on, I know. 59.440 minus 51.807 equals 7.6 divided by that. 2 is 3.8.
Fucking hell. You're as
That's
bad as me.
51. 55.6. Is that the quickest time?
55.6. Let's go over to the leaderboard.
Yeah, you are.
Come on.
You are. So now you've got to sign yourself in.
Sign myself in.
Yeah. He's dyslexic, so you have to give him a while.
Give me a second. Oh, I'm just going to pick.
Embalmer.
Yeah. Because that's what I can spell that with. There we go. And that was, what was it?
55.6.